Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. They've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it. Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from LA. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jenny. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
How are you, Shannon?
I went to dinner last night. I ain't see LeBron. What do you do, Skip?
You're just
You
not
didn't
watching?
even watch it?
What do you do?
I do not believe you did not watch
I
it.
had a friend in town last night, her and her daughter, and so we went to dinner.
Really?
Yeah.
It's nice of you.
I heard he had old 29, 6 and 6.
Number two, put it on him.
No, he did. Don't do
He
that.
did. He put it on
Don't do
him.
that.
You're
Skip.
even
He
saying
always
that.
used to put it on him in San Antonio, and he did it again.
8 or 20, you like that?
Yeah.
Can I interest you
You
in
like
that?
1 or 5 from 3? Can I interest in you in that? Can I interest you in 3 more missed free throws? Can I interest you in this? Your man did it again.
What did he do now?
Zion Williamson returned last night, and LeBron upstaged him because that's what we're starting with because of a big story in Bleacher Report
is
by Rick
interesting.
Bucher. Isn't
That
he
is
did it again.
interesting.
He just took the sports world over with this story. Way to go.
I got something for this story.
Yeah.
Let's get on with the show
By the way,
today. We
here.
are going to talk about Zion a little bit. We're going to talk about what he did last night. We're also going to talk about the Raiders, but we will start with LeBron. Get this, if he was available for a trade, you'd think every NBA team would want to get him, but apparently not. Bleacher Report's Rick Bucher wrote that Jeannie Buss thought about trading LeBron last month, but the rest of the league would not be clamoring to acquire the king. One GM said that LeBron is, quote, not good enough anymore to take 4 cadavers and get to the finals. And an anonymous Eastern Conference owner said, quote, I wouldn't want to gut the team for a player that isn't committed and is toward the end of his career.
Yikes.
Shannon,
Whoa.
what does this tell you?
This is ridiculous. This is a lot of tough talk from general managers or owners or whomever is hiding behind the veil of anonymity that LeBron is bashed over the head for the last 16 years. And now that he's in a disadvantageous situation, the season has not gone as well as he had hoped, Laker fans or Laker management had hoped, they get an opportunity to look down on LeBron James. See, this is also about a power play. Because, see, LeBron has wielded this hammer of power for a very, very long time. Owners and general managers doesn't like that. He's also given other players, bro, if you don't like the situation, ask to get out. And if they don't give it to you when you become a free agent, dip. So for the longest time, players had to accept whatever general managers or whatever owners threw at them, they had to take it. Not anymore. And you know why? Because 023 from the 330, which is Akron, Ohio.
Yeah.
Area code says, nah, we bigger than that. Let this sink in, Jenny. You read something. One anonymous general manager said, LeBron James is not good enough to take 4 cadavers.
Yeah.
For the people that's doesn't have a medical degree. A cadaver is a dead body. LeBron James is...
I did not know that.
I had to make sure I was reading it right.
Yes,
Like,
you read it.
So wait a second. Was Kyrie dead? When
Well,
he went to the
hold on.
finals?
Time
Wait,
out.
was
Skip it.
Kevin Love
Skip it.
dead?
It's not your time. It's not your
I'm
turn.
just asking.
No, it's not your
Wait.
time. It's
God.
my
quite
time.
offensive. Okay.
Cadavers?
Now, again, before I was so rudely interrupted, the general manager said LeBron isn't good enough to take 4 cadavers, meaning dead bodies, to the NBA Finals.
George Hill?
Hold on, Skip Bayless. At least in the Western Conference.
Yep.
We all know had LeBron had this very roster in the Eastern Conference, we think they would be something.
We think they would. Yes, I'm with you on that.
Maybe they're not Milwaukee. Maybe they're not Toronto.
Yep.
But it's hard for me to envision a situation where they're not third or at least fourth,
Yep.
considering the fortunes of Indiana.
Okay.
What I take offense to, Skip, is that if you want to say LeBron James is not the best leader, LeBron James, and I've been very critical of some things that he said, that I felt that he could have got his point across equally as effective behind the scenes, behind closed doors. If you want to say LeBron is not the best leader, I'll give you that. If you want to say, you know what, LeBron James, his free throw percentage is dipped, and that's unacceptable for historically a transcendent great player. But to say he's not committed with the amount of time that the man puts in on his body, the amount of time that the man puts in the gym, and you want to say he's not committed, he doesn't shortchange it. You know why? Because he has the most consecutive games of double figures. You remember he passed Mike last year, Skip. In the rear view, 866. Now, he's played at least 50 games this year, plus the other 7 or 8 games that he had last year, so he's into the 900s. But he's not committed. You know what, Jenny? You're right. He's not committed. In NBA history, there have been 10 times in which a player has averaged 27, 8, and 8. Oscar Robertson has 5 of those. Michael Jordan had one in 88, 89 when he was 32, 8, and 8. Russ and James Harden. LeBron had one last year. Guess if the season ended today, guess who would be on the list again? The one LeBron James that's not committed. Skip, maybe you could make the argument when he was signing the one-year deals in Cleveland. You know, 1 year here, 1 year with an option there, 1 year with an option. You say, well, he's really not committed. The man just gave the Lakers 3 years plus an option. Now you want to say he's at the end of his career. You're right, of course. He's in year 16. What person is at the beginning of his career in year 16 unless he's a doctor or a lawyer?
I thought he was a superhero. I thought he was like superhuman.
I don't care.
Okay.
But when you play sports, there's a shelf life. Even the greatest, the light will go dim on their career.
You're admitting that.
Oh, so let me get, I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correct. Tom Brady is never going to retire.
I didn't say that, but he's going to play at 42 next year.
I don't care if he plays at 47. Guess what? It's going to come to an end.
It will.
He's closer to the end.
At 45, it will come to an end. Go ahead.
So at 45, it's going to come to an end, right? So how old will he be in August? 42. So he's closer to the end than the beginning.
Okay.
Is that what you're saying?
But Tom Brady played at a much higher level last year than LeBron James has played at this year.
Really?
Really?
Really, Skip?
Yes, really.
Hold on, he played at a high level. Now, LeBron James is 5th in scoring, 6th in assists. Where did Tom Brady finish in touchdown passes?
His team is 31
No. You didn't say team. You said Tom Brady played. You didn't say nothing about the New England Patriots.
He plays the position.
No, I don't care what he played. You said Tom Brady played at a high level.
Did you see him at Kansas City? Did you see him against the Chargers?
You're taking a game.
Okay.
Did you see
Well,
LeBron?
those are the games.
Did you see LeBron at Miami when he dropped 50? Well, we're not talking about that, Skip. We're talking about what these guys said. Okay. Now, I'm disappointed in you. You keep interrupting me.
You're asking me questions.
No,
I'm answering.
Skip, baby.
What, am I supposed to just sit here like a mute?
We don't want that.
First of all, these general managers and the owners, Skip, you know this, that LeBron has had power for an extremely long time.
He has.
And this is their opportunity because the Lakers season hasn't gone as well as expected for them to take their shots from a distance. Now, they remain anonymous. I don't have any problem with anonymity because I think it serves its purpose.
It can.
Yes. But
in the right hands.
But you know what? Everybody, I don't want him. Let him become available.
Exactly.
See, you know this is Skip Bayless. You know what this is? This reminds you of the girl that turned you down. When you were in high school, Jenny, she turned you down. Now, she was fire too, Jenny. I like, man, if she just go to the prom or go to the dance with me, and then when I got the advantageous situation.
When is it my turn? When is it my turn? What is this, stand-up comedy? What is this?
So all I'm saying
You're here every night, right?
All I'm saying is that the roles have somewhat reversed.
See that.
And so now they're trying to insert we don't want LeBron James. Skip Bayless, you know. You know LeBron James is still top dog. And they're taking their shots from a distance. But LeBron, be undeterred. Don't let that bother you, bro. Keep on pressing on.
By the way, just since the All-Star break, LeBron is 31% from the three-point line and 59% from the free throw line. 59%?
What is numbers?
That's getting in line.
What's his points, rebound, and assists?
They're the same as they always were because that's what he does.
Oh.
And by the way, last night was a classic, typical this year LeBron game where he was not, you didn't watch it, so you can't respond. I get the floor.
I watched some of it.
Oh, yeah, you watched some of it. So I watched, unfortunately, all of it, and the Lakers were never really in it.
They weren't.
And LeBron really wasn't invested or committed on defense last night. He's had his moments here of late, but not last night. And yet he picked his spots. He can still drive it to the bucket the way nobody can. And he was freight training last night, and he managed to get his 29 points in 32 minutes while going 1 of 5 from the three-point line. But that's what he's doing now because he is chasing Kobe. He's chasing Kareem. He's not chasing a championship until maybe next year because he's going to need a whole lot of new help.
How you chase a championship if you're not in the playoffs?
All right, That's the point. 31 and 37. Back to Rick Bucher's story in the Bleacher Report.
Please.
I must tell you, because this is what I know. I've known Rick Bucher for a long, long time because he has covered this league for a long, long time.
He has.
He is connected and he is respected. He is not prone to some sort of reckless reporting and some irresponsible leap to some outlandish takeaway. That's not what this is. This is intriguing, it's enlightening, and it's insightful. And there's a lot here. There are many levels here. And I'm not saying this is the definitive end of the conversation, but it's the beginning of a conversation that has started. And it starts with the fact that he interviewed a number of owners and a number of GMs, and his takeaway was more owners would be more intrigued with LeBron because obviously, let's just do the hypothetical. If you did trade for him, you can still sell LeBron James, man, because he's going to sell tickets and he's going to sell advertising for your TV network,
Yes.
right?
Right.
Because he is still that guy. He is still the face of the NBA. So I give you that. But if you're talking about winning a championship with LeBron going solo, we're past that
What
prime.
guy can win a championship right now going solo?
But I'm saying he could get you to the finals 8 straight times, not with cadavers, but with lesser talent
Okay,
around.
yes.
Okay, so
but that was also in the Eastern Conference.
Okay, so it was very intriguing that we start with the quote from an Eastern Conference owner who says, I wouldn't gut my team for a player who isn't committed and is toward the end of his career. So committed is the operative flashpoint,
Correct.
right?
Yes, for me, yes,
Okay.
it was.
So was LeBron really committed this year to the Lakers? Did he look a little lethargic from the start? Yeah, he did. Did he look fully invested in this Laker team? Not really. He had his moments, but it wasn't full-on crazy. Like, we watched Zion last night. Was he committed?
Yeah, but
Like,
he's 18.
okay, I know, I got it. But what I'm saying is there were times in the distant past when I saw LeBron go Zion on people, when he scored 48 against Detroit in that playoff game, right?
Okay. Yes. Yeah.
To get to the finals against my
28
Spurs and then got swept by the Spurs. But that's a whole other issue. But that LeBron was out of his mind. You know, he was just...
Yeah, he was 22.
Okay, I got it. But that's the point. They are paying him $35 million.
So is he cheating them? So in other words, he hasn't earned that $35 million this year.
He's not cheating him because you can still sell him. And it became the epicenter of the universe, became here, right, of the basketball
You
universe.
make it seem like he pulled a Chandler Parson, like he got the money and shut it down.
I'm not saying that, but I didn't see enough of that guy. I didn't see the best player on the planet this year.
But you got upset at Luke because Luke said, we know what LeBron can do. We're trying to see what these other guys can do when LeBron was deferring. So he wasn't taking over because we knew what he can do because there were going to be times that we're going to need these other guys. LeBron got hurt. That would have been their perfect chance to show, okay, we can do it.
And by the way, if you do trade LeBron, he has no trade clause in this 3-year deal, but he's got a trade kicker of 15%. So if you did trade for LeBron, he's making $35.6 million right now. It's 15% more. That's up to almost 42. 42. Think about that.
35, so that's another 35, so that's 3.5 million.
It's
That's
almost 42.
Yeah, plus.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
So is LeBron James going into year 17? Let's do the hypothetical. Hypothetical. Would he be worth to you $42 million?
Yeah.
Well, maybe in marketing value, maybe in marquee value, but not in performance value. Not
stop it.
$42 million?
Skip.
There's still a soft cap.
Okay, let me ask you this. Name the guy that's 5th in scoring, 6th in assists, doing what he's doing. Remember, there's only been 10 in the 72-year history of the NBA that's doing what he's
You're
doing.
doing past performance as opposed to present.
Okay, he's 27, 8, 8 right now.
Okay, but you can market the fact that he's going to pass Kobe Bryant on the all-time scoring list, and maybe eventually he'll pass Kareem. That's the old Barry Bonds A-Rod argument. Do you want them on your team when they're about to pass somebody because you can market that?
But Skip, A-Rod was hitting 10 home runs. If he was hitting 50 home runs.
I got it. But here's the deeper takeaway. To me, it's coming close to the point that the package deal of LeBron and Rich Paul are starting to be more trouble than they are worth. And there's a deeper takeaway that Jeannie Buss was so outraged just before the trade deadline, mostly at Rich Paul, for leaking word of this potential blockbuster trade half the team for Anthony Davis, that she was ready to trade LeBron, to trade out from under LeBron and Clutch Sports, and especially Rich Paul. And I got to say, Rich Paul's on a power trip now. And in some ways, I think he's starting to hurt LeBron because he's running amok occasionally. Now, Rick Bucher reports that he did call Jeannie and they sorted it out, hashed it out. Then Jeannie went up to the MIT conference and blamed the media for all the leaks, when in fact, the leaks had to start from somewhere. You thought maybe they were coming from New Orleans.
They came from, Chris said they came from both sides.
Okay, both sides. So was Rich Paul involved in that? Maybe so. So to me, it's very interesting. Jeannie Buss has a lot of her dad in her. And remember what her dad finally did with Shaq?
Yeah, he traded.
He just finally said, okay, Shaq, Kobe, Shaq. I'm going to go with Kobe and I'm going to trade Shaq. Remember, he traded him in Miami.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay, so he will pull, like she will pull the trigger if she gets to that point.
But was Shaq playing like LeBron was?
No, well, I don't know. He was coming out of a period when he was playing better than LeBron, because that was the greatest offensive force I ever saw.
You say coming out of a period.
Yeah, but I mean, that was his sort of 3-year window.
Yeah.
Did Shaq take care of himself like LeBron does? No.
Well, hold on, Skip. Truth be told, we've given Jeannie Buss a pass because we like her. She'll talk to the media. You cleared up all this cap space to be able to get a LeBron, a KD, a Clay, a Kawhi. What have you gotten?
Okay, so we need
You didn't get him. He came to you.
Okay, we need to give this one more cycle and see what happens.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Okay? So I want to get to one quote that was deep in this story, and it's a little long, but I'm going to read it because it's the guts of this story, if you will allow this.
Go ahead.
And if we could show this quote. This is Rick Bucher writing. He says, the Western Conference GM that he's talking about speculates that more owners than executives see value in James at this point, largely because the latter, meaning the executives, have seen how their colleagues' jobs have entailed catering to James and dealing with Rich Paul, who is not popular with more than a few of the front offices. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's alienated a bunch of people in this league. Quote from the GM, even if you're solid in your job as a GM, you know that anywhere LeBron goes, you're suddenly under the gun. That's the GM says. Your only choice is to give him the keys and let him run it. And even if you didn't want that, your owner might, because he doesn't have to deal with what comes with it. So what comes with it is that package that finally alienated Pat Riley. Did he live to regret it? Yes, he did. But again, you got to give LeBron the keys because you have to give the group that he brings. It's Clutch, it's Maverick, and these are sharp young men. Right. We know that. But listen, Rich Paul will swing his weight, man.
Exactly. Yep. But here's the thing. You know what also comes along with LeBron is pressure and expectations. The only reason we talk about the Lakers for as long as we have is because they have him. The only reason there were playoff expectations was because of LeBron James. So when you get LeBron James, you better believe their fans expect championships.
Okay.
That's what comes along with him.
All right. But Rich Paul comes along with it.
Okay.
Right? So you're going to have to deal with that. And at what point does it become more aggravation than it's worth?
Skip, you could be.
Do you think that Rich, along with LeBron, tried to sort of take over the franchise and say, we are going to go get Anthony Davis?
Skip, I don't really like, all I can base what I talk about on is what I see. Now, if I get stuff from behind the scenes, I can go with that. I don't know how Rich Paul deals with organization to organization. But what I do know, having watched LeBron, I know what comes along with him, and those are expectations. Sure. It came with Larry, it came with Michael, it came with Magic.
Okay.
Now, it comes with him. Now, if you trade for him, I don't care if you're the Brooklyn Nets, I don't care who you are, Atlanta Hawks. If you get that guy, those fans, because of what he did, what he's done in his past, the 8 straight finals, the 14 straight years of being in the playoffs, that's what they expect. Okay. And the executives are right. When you have to deal with that expectation, because he's not.
But they're not just talking about expectation. The LeBron package is he's going to kind of run the franchise, right? And I don't have any problem with that, but you better be ready to accept that. And then he better be ready to live up to that.
And what did Michael Jordan have a problem with? He's like, y'all gonna pay me these peanuts. Y'all gonna go get me some help. I'm not gonna just let y'all sit these sandbags side me and think I'm gonna go out here and play with. LeBron James said, you got me. If you think I'm gonna take less money and then come here and then y'all hoard all the money, you
Although
must be out
what's
your mind.
ironic about what you just said is Michael never really had the best view of what help he actually needed,
Right.
which is why he hasn't been a very good general manager in Charlotte, right?
Right.
And LeBron, if it's true that he pushed Magic, go get me playmakers instead of three-point snipers, then maybe he didn't really see what he needed.
But yeah, exactly. Maybe he had a false sense of what it would actually take in the Western Conference.
Okay.
Because maybe, Skip, he's in the Eastern Conference, and the shooters work well for him. But then now all of a sudden he goes to the Western Conference, and maybe his ideas of what he actually needs, maybe that changed.
Maybe.
But how many guys in year 16? Yeah, Skip, okay, let's just say for the sake of argument, he only plays another 4, he makes it to year 20. There not been very many guys that's put up this kind of season in year 16. Hell, for the argument, there haven't been very many guys that had that season, period. Year 1, year 5, year 10, let alone year 16.
I know one guy at age 34, which is LeBron's age right now, had a much better season
He
than
didn't
LeBron
average
has.
27, 8, and 8.
I don't know. He led the league. Wait a second. He led the league in scoring and made first team all defense.
But Skip, he led the league in scoring, averaging 28 points a game. There are 2-3 guys right now averaging more than that a game.
Well, this is more of a scoring age than that because you could play defense in those days
Yes.
with your hands.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. But you also understand, Skip, all the guys that's up there and scoring, what can they do? Shoot the three. What couldn't your guy do? Because as bad as LeBron...
It's not that he couldn't do it. He didn't do it.
Yes, he
it
did.
was not the favored shot.
If you don't mind me asking, if he didn't do it, how did they calculate that he shot 32% from the three-point line if he didn't shoot any?
Well, he just didn't take very many.
Well, it should be higher. Because normal
Hey.
rule of thumb, guys that take fewer
You know what?
normally have higher shooting percentage. Because
If he had played in this era, he would live in the gym in the offseason until he made 38% of those
you know
shots.
what, Skip? If I played in this era of football, ain't no telling the numbers I have. Ain't no telling. Let's just say we would be talking a lot less about these tight ends right now.
Did you just compare yourself to Michael Jordan?
There you go, Skip. Fantasy, you always.
I think you did.
No, all of
So
them.
I'm going to cap this off with the final quote in Rick Bucher's
Okay.
piece. And it's from an Eastern Conference GM who says, the wild card is Jeannie Buss. She could ask LeBron, if you're not with all this, tell us where you want us to send you and we'll make it happen. And I do believe that Jeannie would pull that trigger if pushed, if forced. If she thought LeBron wasn't invested or it just wasn't going the right direction, she would go to him and say, do you want to go somewhere else? Because I don't think LeBron wants to go anywhere else. I think he wanted Hollywood. He wants his family here. He wants Brentwood. He's happy here. I just don't know how happy he is playing basketball.
Skip, you know the man is very happy here.
Yeah.
He wanted to be here. He chose them.
He did.
They didn't choose them.
I don't know if he's so happy about the Lakers.
No. He's not happy about that. But like he said, it won't happen again.
Okay, well, you know what?
But I want you to read that quote, Skip. The one that he said, LeBron is not good enough anymore with them four cadavers. I want you to read that one.
You just said it.
No, I want you to read it.
Well, you just said it. I don't need to read it. You
don't
just
sa-
said it.
It don't sound the same coming from me as it would you. Say it, Skip. LeBron and four cadavers.
I'll say this. Kyrie and Kevin Love were alive.
What about
Yes,
They were
we can't be
alive.
saying
What about the
cadavers
ones when they
anymore on
missed the
show.
finals? Were they alive then?
All
you remember
right.
they missed the finals, Skip? Oh, my bad.
That's
One guy
ancient history.
that is old news, that came to play last night, Zion Williamson. Did he quiet all the critics last night? We'll discuss that next.
No mercy.
Hey guys, Jenny Taft here. This Saturday night, don't miss the biggest pay-per-view fight of the year. Two of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world put their perfect records on the line. Errol Spence Jr. takes on Mikey Garcia for the World Welterweight Championship live from AT&T Stadium. Spence Jr. versus Garcia. Saturday, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, live on pay-per-view. Order now.
No mercy.
Zion Williamson made his highly anticipated return last night after missing the last 5 games, and he did not disappoint. He dunked several times to show his knee is good to go and finished with 29 points. Zion was a perfect 13 for 13 from the field to lead Duke over Syracuse, and many people, including at this desk, said he should sit out the rest of the year, and Zion addressed that after the game. Let's take a listen.
After you got hurt, there was all this talk among other people about what you should do. Did you give any thought to anything, or was this sort of the moment in time that you always envisioned you were going to be back? There was no question about it.
There was no question about it. I knew I was going to be back. Everybody has their right to their own opinion, but I knew I was coming back the whole time. A few days ago, I got some reps in with the team. But I will like to say this, there was never any pressure for me to rush back when I wasn't ready. So I think coach, assistant coaches and my teammates for that, they always told me, come back when I'm ready. And I felt ready a few days ago, and it was good to get back.
All right, Shannon, did last night's performance show that Zion made the right decision to play?
No, the right decision should not be based on how well he played. The right decision should be based on he's fully healthy. He looked fully healthy.
Okay.
He looked explosive. He was fully engaged. I thought he would be on a minutes restriction.
Yeah.
He was not. He played 36 over a possible 40 minutes, and he was his dominant self. Had he scored 10 points, you're going to say, oh, that was the wrong decision? So the decision can't be based on the outcome or how well he played. The decision needs to be based on, did he look healthy? Is he healthy? Was he healthy? And he looked all of those things. He looked healthy, Skip. He looked explosive, and he played extremely well. That's what the decision should be based on. And for me, you can't look and say, well, if he had 10 points, or you're going to say, man, see, I told you he shouldn't have came back. He don't look like Zion. Skip, I saw no ill effects. Mm-hmm. He wasn't favoring. He wasn't laboring. He looked like the Zion pre-injury. He was voted ACC Player of the Year. He's going to be National Player of the Year because you see how they look without him and you see how they look with him.
True.
No question. RJ Barrett is good. He might be a better NBA player than Zion. But for college, it's not even close, Skip Bayless. And so, look, at the end of the day, whenever that is, when he walks off the court, because he's only played 1 year in Duke, he walks off the court healthy, I'm going to thank you. That's job well. That's it, Skip, because that's the only way we're going to know if the decision was right.
Yep, you were right about that. I was just blown away by what I saw from opening tip.
Yeah.
Zion Williamson was one big ball of fiery joy.
Yes.
Yeah.
He just unleashed on Syracuse. It was 6 games of pent-up energy that he just unleashed all over those poor Cuses, right?
Yes.
And it was like he was a superhero playing among mortal beanpoles, because Syracuse looked like a bunch of beanpoles to me.
Small to me.
They might be the skinniest team in college basketball, right?
Yeah.
Even Boeheim's kid Buddy is a freshman, but he's 6'5" and looks like he weighs like 140, but Zion's just...
It's a little different weight class.
But Skip, everybody going to look skinny next to Zion.
I know.
Exactly.
I got it. So it was a joy to watch his joy. I love his love for basketball.
Yes.
I love everything he said. He told ESPN right after the game, I wasn't going to leave my boys hanging, and he's not.
Right.
He's just not.
That's it.
I got that.
And that's what it comes
from
down
the
to.
heart.
Yep.
That's from the bottom of the heart,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So he played fearlessly. He almost played recklessly because that's just the way he plays.
Right.
So there was no hesitation. To your point, he looked 100% healthy. But tonight, now the stakes get ramped up, and he'll be even more amped up to try to get some revenge on a Carolina that beat them both times.
Swept them.
Swept
That's what
them.
we do, the Tar Heels.
Oh, so now you're a we on the Tar
I've
Heels.
always-
And I know you grew up that way.
Yes.
Okay. But the Tar Heels stole one game at Duke, right, at Cameron Indoor, because he went down on the first play of the game.
So what were they going to do? What are you going to say tomorrow? Well,
Monday.
Monday,
Yep.
when we triple them up. And what you going to say then? Zion, it was only his second game back?
I don't think I'll have to say that.
Oh, you
because
have
I'm
to say
pretty
that.
sure Duke's going to get its revenge in this game.
No, they're not.
Okay, now I'm going to get serious, and maybe this is a low blow, cheap shot, but I got to bring this up because this is my point about college basketball versus the NBA. That kid Jackson Hayes, I don't know if you know who he is. He was the Big 12 Freshman of the Year for Texas, and he's from Cincinnati because his father is the tight ends coach for the Bengals, Jonathan Hayes.
Yeah,
Do you remember him?
Yeah.
Okay, so he played in the NFL. His mom played basketball at Drake, and last night, Jackson Hayes, there's 2 minutes left in the game, that happened.
Yeah.
Okay, is it freakish? He got tangled up, and just went down. It's kind of like a weird, freakish tangle injury.
weird,
okay.
yeah.
And Shaka Smart said after the game, we have no idea how badly he's hurt. We got to get that game took place in Kansas City. They had to fly back to Austin last night because they barely lost the game. That does not look good to me.
Right.
He seemed in pain.
Right.
Like he thought something really bad had happened. Okay, for those who don't know, Jackson Hayes, he's 6'11". He's going to be a top 10, 15 pick in the NBA draft. Okay, is this going to hurt his stock? Is this going to damage his potential in the NBA? I hope not.
I hope so,
Okay, okay, but again, this is what can happen freakishly.
Right.
And my point on Zion from the start is he is so huge and so explosive.
We've never seen anything like this, not this package.
With such hops. I mean,
Right.
you can't hop at 285 like that.
Can you imagine the torque of going up there like that and coming down?
Coming down like that?
And so, and you skipped what they did, and he transferred because he blew the shoe out in the Paul George 2.5.
Kyrie.
They went to the Kyrie. Now, it was reported early in the year he blew the toe out of the Kyrie. So Nike sent someone down.
It sounded like it wasn't even a Kyrie anymore. Like they completely customized
yes.
it, right?
Custom, yeah.
It's just Kyrie and look. But by the time they gutted the shoe and made it his, because they stood the most to lose, Nike.
That is correct.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
But Skip, there's something transpired in this ball game, and Jim Boeheim tried to poo-poo it, and the gentleman tried to poo-poo it. Howard tripped him.
Yep.
He tried to trip him, Skip, because you know what? If that had been Grayson Allen, we'd have probably led the show with it. That guy stuck his foot out there and tried to trip.
It took Grayson Allen 3 trips before he even got suspended.
Exactly. But
so obvious, though.
Look, like I said, I can walk. I understand how you do it, and you try to do it subtly. But here's the thing. When there's cameras around, there's no subtlety to it because someone sees it, and the camera caught it.
I'm not sure how the refs missed that one because it was pretty blatant.
Yes. So all of a sudden, he's standing there. All of a sudden, he sticks his foot out. Well, that's not what I was trying to do. You think I waited this long to trip somebody?
4 years. He's a 4-year
Yeah.
player.
You think I waited this long to trip somebody?
We noticed
Yeah.
it right
Yeah,
away.
he did.
That's exactly what you did.
And the reason he did is because he was getting dominated by that man. You're right?
That's a lot of weight to move up and down. Because, Skip, when you look at LeBron, if you go back and look at LeBron when he was his rookie year or his senior year in high school, Skip, he's skinny.
Yeah, that's
a grown man right there.
It is.
That ain't no 18-year. That's a grown man.
I would agree.
Man, I'm happy for him. And like I said, as far as they go, knock on wood, Zion just get across the finish line. I don't care what play. I don't care if they win the national championship. I don't care if they lose the first round. I don't care if they go to I don't care anything about that. Just cross the finish line. That's all I care about.
I even winced on the first play of the game that he made. It's a breakaway dunk. And he kind of got wrong stepped where he wasn't sure on his takeoff.
Right.
He is ambidextrous, so he's left-handed, and he switches and
dunks it with right.
Just slams it with his right hand.
Yeah.
How many people do you see can do that?
Very few people can do that, and he's also, Skip, one of these unique jumpers that he can jump off both feet or he can jump off either leg.
Well, the reason I was wincing is I don't want him to come down wrong on that knee because once you tweak it, it can be tweakable again, like it can be a little bit vulnerable. I just hope, I'm with you. Just get through it.
Yeah, he's a special talent. It's going to be interesting to see Skip. He was 13 to 13. One of them was a three-pointer set shot. We have yet to see him rise up and shoot over someone.
No, he doesn't do that. And his free throw shooting is getting a little shaky.
That's the only thing.
Everybody,
He's kind of reminding me of LeBron at the free throw line.
I guarantee you, anybody that select this young man say, you know what? If you can just do a half of what LeBron has done, we won.
If LeBron could just make 10%.
What was the percentage you thought he was going to have at the beginning of the year, LeBron? It was pretty steep, wasn't it?
It was like 8-0.
80?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's now at 6-6.
Just to remind you, I am listening to you every day, Shannon.
You know what, Jenny? I don't know, Jenny.
That was good, Jenny.
Jenny, I don't really know how long this friendship can continue to blossom.
Really?
With you taking these shots at me.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. I don't really know. Miss Mary, Miss Mary might have to,
He's warning me, Skip.
You like that too, Skip. Anybody that takes a shot, that was a shot. That was uncalled for.
But that was an obvious shot to take.
That was it was not obvious.
Well, it was glaring. It was sitting right in the middle of the table. It was low-hanging fruit.
Hold on, this is a topic about Zion.
Yeah.
And somehow you and Jenny worked your way to get LeBron.
No, 2 for 9 from the free throw line. And
that was him.
And
Zion did that.
Steve Kerr already said, I thought there was only one LeBron, and here's another one, right?
That ain't what he said.
Well, he kind of said that. Well, he did. He said, I thought he was the only one.
He was talking talking about his athletic ability.
I
He wasn't
got
talking
it.
about no free throw.
Well,
You
he-
added that.
Kind of. He's sort of going there.
You know what? Okay. But that's okay. LeBron, look, pile on him, beat him down, look down upon him, castigate him, ostracize him, do all those things, Skip. But we're coming back new and improved.
Oh, I thought you meant Zion. Oh, you're still talking about LeBron.
We moved on.
Yeah.
First of all, Zion Williamson's not going back to Duke. That's not
He's
happening.
moving on for
I
sure.
don't know. He seems to love the college
I
experience.
guarantee you.
Watching him play, though, and the happiness and joy
Yeah.
No,
you
it's-
feel from him.
It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
He might be flying straight to wherever they
I
have
know.
the draft at.
It's not only contagious to his teammates, it's contagious through the TV.
It
Where
is.
in your
It's
living room,
unbelievable.
you're kind of really getting pulled into
Yeah.
it.
He's
away.
excited. He's excited about every point. He's excited about everybody's point. He's jumping up and down with somebody else. I'm like, dude.
He's just screaming to the rafters, right?
He is. He's fun to watch.
Yep.
Fun to remind me of myself when I was that age.
For the record, he said the
Now,
shoes
wait,
were
you just
incredible,
compared
too.
yourself to Zion?
Huh?
Huh?
Who?
Zion.
LeBron?
Now,
Wait, no,
Michael Jordan
Michael
and
Jordan.
I keep my
Zion?
head up like that.
Did you compare yourself to LeBron, too? or
No.
Maybe later.
Why
in the
y'all
show?
keep on trying to
Oh, no,
take shots at me?
You did it.
I
You
ain't bothered
did.
no one.
We're just reacting.
You just reacted.
Okay, I'm going to be nicer from
Okay,
here on
thank
out.
you.
No mercy.
The Raiders have been very busy this offseason, including trading for seven-time Pro Bowler Antonio Brown. An NFL source told ESPN that next season will allow the Raiders to find out if Derek Carr is the franchise quarterback of the future. Oakland finished 4-12 last season, and Carr had a career low in touchdown passes. So, Shannon, how sold are you on their quarterback?
I've never been sold on Derek Carr. I wasn't sold when he finished high up in the MVP voting for the simple fact I think his peaks are extremely high, but his valleys are way low. And the really great quarterbacks, they don't have that kind of flow. They don't have that ebb and flow to their game like that. He was the year that he was finished high in the MVP. It was almost like very Tebow-esque because he'd like stink it up for the first half, and then they was winning the game with 10 seconds left on the clock, or they put it out in the last minute of the ball game. And that's not, that's a great quality to have. But what you want to see is your star elite level quarterback, franchise quarterback, play well, play consistently. They're not going to always. I mean, it's not like, people like, Tom Brady and Manning and all the greats, they don't throw for 300 yards every game. They don't not miss throws or throw an interception, but they don't have the peaks and the valleys that these other quarterbacks, and that's what set them apart. And so I've really never been sold on him. I think it will benefit, it's also going to benefit having John Gruden for his second year. Now, and people are like, well, what about AB? AB's going to help, but the thing that I think John Gruden will help Derek Carr, he will tell AB, shut the bleep up, get in the huddle, run the route, run the play that I call.
Yep.
Derek Carr doesn't strike me as that guy that has that kind of cachet, and so hopefully that doesn't take place. We know it's going to take place. Hopefully Derek Carr can withstand that. But Skip, I've never been the biggest Carr fan, and people are like, well, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard, Skip. I like when people are explaining, like when they try to explain to you about Kyler Murray, or they try to explain to you about Baker. I just can't put my hand on it, but he just has it. He just has that something about him that guys will follow him, and he never seems like he's out of place or he's out of kilter. That everything is just like, everything's gonna be okay, bro. I know it's chaotic out there, but we got this. I just never get that sense from Derek Carr, and so that's kind of why I've been out on him. He could clearly prove me wrong this year, but he better prove me wrong because basically this is a one-year deal. If he doesn't play like John Gruden expects him to play, when they get ready to head to Vegas, he won't be making the trip.
You are probably right. There's been rampant speculation. He's not going to make the trip to this training camp, right? Because he's been on the trade block supposedly,
Correct.
reportedly. So yesterday, some pretty dramatic moves made again by John Gruden and Mike Mayock. No more A.J. McCarron. I thought for a while he was going to go forward with McCarron as his sort of Brad Johnson, right? That like the older quarterback,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Rich Gannon. And yet he got cut, so now there's no
immediate successor.
Well, there's Nathan Peterman. You love Nathan Peterman.
Here's
right?
a verb.
Well,
Man, you out there playing like Peterman.
like
But when somebody say you playing like Peterman, you straight up,
done?
you straight up trash.
That's horrible.
not exactly a verb, but it's okay.
Yeah,
I get what you
he
mean.
Peterman.
You made it one.
You Peterman that game.
Yeah, you Peterman that game away.
All right, that's true.
Hope you never
I'll
see
buy
that.
See,
that.
Skip,
I like
see what
that.
you started?
I
You-
like that, actually. I do. So it sure looks like John Gruden said, okay, I give up. I'm going to give Derek Carr one big shot because he's got some new help.
Yeah.
He's got some new weapons. I'm a little concerned for Derek Carr because he might not have his old weapon, Jared Cook, who sounds like he's going to go elsewhere.
But Skip, that's what I don't understand. He was their best receiver.
He led them in all the categories, all across the board. Jared Cook.
He's one of the better receivers. I guarantee you, Aaron Rodgers wish he had him back.
Well, guess what he did to me that one fateful playoff game?
He went to Jerry.
Oh, he went to Jared. He went to Jared.
Love that one.
That was a
too.
hard catch, though. Shoot, that was a hard
It
catch.
was a pitch and catch.
No, Skip.
It
From
was.
30 yards away,
Huh?
rolling to your left.
I could have
off your
caught that
arm.
with one hand.
You know what?
I believe I could have caught it.
Are you comparing yourself to Jerry Cook?
Yes, I am. In
lot
that
of
case, I am.
comparisons today.
Because I could make that catch just standing flat-footed at the boundary, like, oh, here, nobody's
Hold
around
on,
me.
Skip. That was fourth down.
Where's Byron
Skip,
Jones?
that was
Where's
fourth
Byron
down.
Jones?
The pressure.
The pressure.
Yeah.
I know. There's
I would sign.
you could
I would definitely re-sign Jerry Cook.
Well, that's-
Jerry Cook with Tyreek Williams and AB. You got something, Skip. You got something.
Yeah, Tyrell Williams.
Tyrell,
He's-
excuse me,
And
Tyrell.
he's a good young player.
Big physical receiver.
And I always liked Seth Roberts because when they went on their magical run back in 2016, every time I looked up, Seth Roberts made another big clutch
Skip his
touchdown
hands.
catch. Huh?
His hands.
Yeah?
Yeah, his hands are a little suspect. They
Okay,
call it
well, but
50-50.
he makes big catches. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying.
but he dropped little catches.
He can do that. And so they went and got Tom Brady's blindside protector, right? Trent Brown, installed him at left tackle, gave him a ton of money, probably too much.
And moved Miller, who the first round pick. They moved him to right tackle.
Okay, all right. So you should say it's pretty much set up
Yes.
for Derek Carr to say, here I go,
Yeah,
right?
But Skip, they weren't that great offensively. But the problem was defense. What are they going to do with that defense? That's what I need to know. They let both safeties go. They don't really have anybody. Remember, they traded Khalil Mack early. They ended up, I think, released Bruce Irving, who's their second best pass rusher. What are they going to do about the defense?
I don't know. Draft for it. That's all I can figure out. They got picks.
Skip, you're asking an awful lot to rookies. I mean,
Well,
every
I know,
once in
I
a
got
while
it.
you get rookies that come in and
Remember,
they can
there's
contribute.
no bona fide quality running back there
No.
either. So
what are they bringing? Are they going to bring Beast Mode back?
I don't know.
They did sign the kid from Tampa, the muscle hamster, whatever. I forget his name. Doug Martin.
Doug Martin.
Doug
That'll
Martin.
work.
Yeah. So what are they going to do but skip that defense?
Yeah.
Okay, you got all these shiny toys for Derek Carr. You want to evaluate Derek Carr. You still could be so Derek Carr, scores you 28 points, but your defense gives up 35.
Okay.
Because you know who's in that division, Skip. My homeboy. Phillip Rivers.
Mm-hmm.
Are they going
You
anywhere?
didn't mention your old team. Huh?
You know who's in that division, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a time you would have mentioned the Orange first.
I would have.
Right?
But Skip,
Not
come
right
on,
now.
bruh. Joe Flacco, really? When did you know teams?
Harsh, too.
When did you notice teams give up on quarterback?
Yep.
That guy, if
Okay.
that guy becomes available, either he's washed or he's injured. Teams are not giving up. That's the only position. Man, they'll hold on to that guy till the cows come home.
Well, you know how I felt about Joe Flacco from the start, and I can't take away from what he did in the postseason, but regular season, he's Fluco. So good luck to you with Fluco next year. And now back to Derek Carr. I still believe in Derek Carr more than you do.
Yeah, you do.
I like what I saw in 2016, and again, you can say it's a blip, it's an aberration, but in 2016, until he got hurt, he played 15 games and they went 12-3. He wound up with 28 touchdowns to 6 interceptions, and I completely concur with your assessment. He could be shaky through the first half and maybe even through 3 quarters, but when it was time, when the money was on the table, he was flat out clutch. And maybe it's because they just sort of got on a clutch roll and they just kept stealing game after game.
Yep.
But I liked what I saw. And last year he had a career high 69% completion percentage, so he's got ability.
He turned into your guy. Old Dink and Dat.
You think so?
Everybody fishing around the edge, Skip. You don't get big fish like that.
Yeah.
When the last time you heard somebody caught a big old giant marlin or a big old white shark fishing around shore fishing? You got to get out to the deep. You got to throw the ball down the field if you want the big plays.
Well, I saw him in 2016 casting 70 yards out into the water.
Yeah.
Some big throws.
No, well.
He had that guy, Amari Cooper, who's now my guy.
Oh, my goodness, Skip.
Well, did he not?
He had it.
Yeah,
And
okay.
then what did you see in 2017?
I saw an unhappy Amari. That's what I saw. And last year I saw an unhappier Amari for the first part of the year.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Skip, you giving too much. You giving placing blame too much on everybody else. Amari Cooper was inconsistent with the Raiders, Skip.
He made 2 Pro Bowls for 2 years.
Skip, everybody make the Pro Bowl.
Everybody makes
Everybody.
the Pro Bowl?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Well, if you'd have played, you'd have got one.
Pro Bowl?
There you go.
Because first of all, guess what happens, Skip? Teams that go to the Super Bowl now, what happens? They don't get to go to the Pro Bowl. And now you getting the 7th and the 8th alternate. Come on, man. It used to be an honor to go to the Pro Bowl. Now, stop.
It's too bad, kind of. that he-
Yeah, it is.
I think.
If John Gruden won a Super Bowl with Brad Johnson, he could win one with Derek Carr.
Yeah, okay, well, where them 4 Hall of Famers? Because you know Warren Sapp's in the Hall of Fame.
They're
And
about
so
to,
is Derek
they're
Brooks.
about to be drafted. That's who they
And
are.
John Lynch is in
I know.
the top 15. So, and Simeon Rice had over 100 sacks.
Simeon Rice was really
He
good.
was really good.
Yep.
Now, he was a butt to deal with, but that doesn't take away from what he was able to do on the field.
He could have been the Super Bowl MVP
Yeah.
that day.
Rondé Barber. I mean, it's not like John Gruden inherited a loaded team.
I mean, Derek Brooks, my friend Derek Brooks,
Yeah.
you know him well. He continues to make the case that was the greatest defense ever, not Ray Lewis.
Man, Brooks, he better stop playing. I know he watching too, because you know he watching.
He watching.
Brooks, he stop playing.
Really?
You stop playing Brooks.
I think it's at least debatable. They belong in the same conversation.
They don't even blame Skip. That team gave up 10 points a game.
Okay.
10.
Well,
They
this
gave
one wasn't-
over 16 games. They gave up 168 points. And you add up all the rushing yards in 16 games, the team didn't reach 1,000.
I promise you, my phone is filling up with the long
Oh,
text right now with stat after stat after stat. From what year was that? 2002?
We were 2000. They were 02.
02.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
We had
Check
and
the
we had
stats.
because I was on that team, so I'm a part
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
We had way more shutouts. We shut folks out, knocking people out the game. How many quarterbacks they knock out the game? We knocked a bunch
Did
of
you
them
go
out.
both ways that year?
Skip, stop.
I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe it was back in the
Hold on. Now-
the prehistoric time when
Jimmy, you
players
see
went
what
both
he does?
ways.
He hates when LeBron says I. When he says me.
do too.
Now I said us, we. Now, or did you go both ways? I mean, were you on the defense? I didn't remember you making a tackle.
Well, you played when players back in the day.
No.
a long time ago. Huh?
No, only Dion.
That would
Really?
be very hard to do.
Yeah, but
I
I'm-
prefer when you say us. You don't do it
Yeah,
often.
yeah, us. We, the Ravens. We had the greatest defense ever assembled.
It was
That's
right
what the
there.
stats say.
Yeah. Although the 85 Bears might have something else to say about
But
it.
they gave up more points. I thought stats don't lie.
Okay, well,
And actually, the 86 Bears were better than the 85.
those are the teams of the past and a few teams of the future. How about the Browns? Well, they now have a lot of big personalities on their team, but will everyone get along?
That's
We'll
a good
discuss
question.
next.
No mercy.
All right, we have some breaking news. The NFL is suspending Kareem Hunt for 8 games for violating its personal conduct policy. Hunt was released by the Chiefs in November after video surfaced of him assaulting a woman, and he was signed by the Browns last month. Now, Cleveland has high expectations after the blockbuster trade that landed them Odell Beckham Jr. Odell comes with some baggage from New York, but GM John Dorsey said his talent was just too good to pass up. So, Shannon, let's start with Kareem Hunt. What is your reaction to the suspension?
Well, I think it's fair. So basically, he's going to be suspended for basically about a year, Skip. He missed the final 5 games last year.
true, yeah.
He missed 2 games of the postseason, and he'll miss the first 8 games of the regular season. So that's about 15 games. The season's 16 games long. So this is about a year suspension. I think that's fair. It gives him an opportunity to stay in the counseling, to show that he's remorseful. And it gives the NFL like, okay, we took this serious as soon as we found out. And I know everybody said, well, you should have found out beforehand. You should have never gotten this far. Well, Kareem Hunt should have never done what he done, and then we wouldn't be in this situation.
Yep.
But I think it's fair. I think the NFL is like, okay, 8 games is enough considering that you missed, basically 8 games last year. And I think it's pretty good, Skip, because you have to realize this young man led the league in rushing as a rookie. He was 5th in the time in which he was put on the commissioner's list and then eventually released. He was 5th in the league in rushing then. He's a different type of back. He's a special type of back that can run it and he can catch it.
Really can.
I think Cleveland, for what they gave up, I mean, they didn't have to give up anything. And so he's still in his 3rd year. That's nothing for what they paid. They probably giving him, $400,000, $500,000, and that's going to be cut in half. So I think this was a good pickup for them. Now, it's a little risky because he's from the Cleveland area.
Is that good or bad?
And it seems a lot of the situations that he's found himself in that weren't good happened there. So it's good for the Browns.
It is.
I don't know if it's necessarily the best thing for him.
I'm with you. I
Now,
agree.
back to John Dorsey's comment on Odell. Skip, I agree because it didn't cost that much. Skip, let's go back. You remember, your team has done this twice. Your team gave up 2 first-rounders for Roy Williams, the guy from the Detroit Lions. They gave up 2 first-rounders for Joey Galloway.
Yep.
Tampa gave up 2 first-rounders for Keyshawn Johnson. Odell Beckham, better than all them guys, Skip. And they got him for a 1st and a 3rd and a player.
I like the player. He's a good player, but go ahead.
This is what I like most about it. You're able to add to Baker Mayfield, who's on a rookie contract.
Yep.
Denzel Ward, rookie contract. Myles Garrett.
Huge.
So what do we see? Who did this, Skip? The Rams. They're like, hold on, we got Jared Goff on a rookie contract. Let's load up. Let's go get Aqib Talib. Let's sign Ndamukong Suh.
Yep.
We can give Aaron Donald this big money. Okay, let's re-sign right now. Let's go ahead and get Todd Gurley tied up. We're bringing some more Brandon Cooks. So we're going for it because we know, man, Jared Goff's going to probably cost us $35, $40 million a year. So we might as well load up on it now. And that's what the Browns are doing. As long as they got Baker Mayfield on this rookie contract, they got some of the top players on rookie contracts, you go for it. They're doing it because Skip, you'd have to give a 1st and a 3rd. They was like, okay, we could stand pat. What's the likelihood of us finding the 17th pick can give us the kind of production that Odell Beckham had? And I think Odell is going to be on his best behavior because he knows now. You got up out of the Giants said, look, as talented as you are, we just can't stomach you anymore, bro. And I think Odell might be even better. You know why, Skip? Because Baker Mayfield, at this point right now, is better than Eli Manning.
I hope so.
We're not talking about what Eli's accomplished Super Bowls, and he's gone to the Pro Bowl. But he's not better than Baker right now as we sit here. And Eli hadn't been good. I don't know why you got to go. I don't know. Maybe Eli got tapes. Maybe he got some Watergate tapes on somebody saying something inappropriate about somebody else. Because that's the only way I can explain Eli Manning's still on this roster if you got a plan. But I like this move for the Cleveland Browns, Skip.
Eli Manning still has 2 Super Bowl wins over Tom Brady. That's what he's still
got.
banking on.
Okay, what do you say he got?
Yeah.
So when was the last one he had? So what we gonna do? See, they don't pay them $150 million for those.
Yeah.
So how much longer do they got to pay him?
I don't know. It's a good question.
You like it because he in the Cowboys division. And that's 2 easy wins a year for you.
Thank you.
I was just going to say, I feel like that's not what you bring it. You don't bring it up very often because it helps you.
2 easy wins against the Giants, 2 easy against Carson Wentz.
No,
we're good.
No.
Washington
Makes sense
scares me.
now.
Whatever.
Case Keenum scares me.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Case Keenum scares
he
you.
scares me.
You should.
He's a gamer.
He should scare the Washington fans. Ooh, he in the game? Oh, let me hide my face.
All right, back to Kareem Hunt.
Okay.
I have some mixed emotions that he only got 8 games. You make a very valid point. He actually missed 5 at the end of last year. So you can effectively argue, well, it was. I would not have been surprised or disappointed if he had gotten the whole year off, suspended.
Okay.
But again, he will be back after 8 games.
Okay.
So now let's just do on the football field, because I don't want to retry him in the court of public opinion.
Correct.
On the football field, when he does return, this is a loaded offensive football team. You can argue it's already the best receiving core in the league. And Nick Chubb was exploding by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And Duke Johnson is a talent. I don't know that they will now hang on to Duke Johnson.
they might trade him.
They'll have to hang on to him maybe for a while. But again, I don't think you can carry 3 backs of that quality and magnitude.
Okay.
But will Kareem Hunt bring new sizzle to the? Yes, he will.
Yep.
You can do a lot of new things with him. Freddie Kitchens will be very happy as he is game planning. So, back to Odell. Did you read the story that came out yesterday? The woman called 911 because some guy next door was out in the yard screaming. And
We got Odell.
Okay.
Yep.
He was screaming
I
about
saw that.
Odell. And again, we did our promotion the other day. The day you were off, we were going to do Skip rides the roller coaster,
Right.
and we got derailed by the Odell story, so we weren't able to do it on the air. I'm actually going to pay that off on social media after this show today
Oh,
and
good.
answer lots of questions, and I thank you
Glad
for
you're
all of
doing
your
that.
questions.
Okay.
Answer
But
mine, too.
I will. I'm going to save yours for last. It's going to be the last one I do. But the point is, one of the questions asked me, and I'm going to deal with it today. But it asked me, could Odell ever be bigger in Cleveland than LeBron ever was? Well, again, the mere fact that somebody was asking
Would
that
ask that,
question
yeah.
shows you the magnitude of just the aura, the mystique of Odell Beckham Jr.
Right.
He has, what is it, 12 point something?
12.2, 12.3 million,
12 point
IG parlor?
7. It's now it
mean, they
exploded. I
did
think he just
grow a
added
bit,
500,000. 12.7 million on Instagram. What was AB the other day?
3.4,
3.3.
3 something.
Okay, so he just it's like a mushroom cloud of aura and presence. He's going on NBA. He's not even in LeBron's ballpark, but still, he's the closest thing in this league to an NBA superstar,
Correct.
right? To me, and I like Odell personally, I like him off the field, but too much of him is off the field. Like he's become more of an entertainer than a performer on the football field.
Okay.
He's known more for his antics, his misbehavior, all of the off the field and sometimes on the sideline antics, sometimes against Josh Norman during the game and after the whistle. He's more known for that than for his catches. And he made the one catch heard round the world that launched him.
Yeah.
So again, I think it's going to help Odell. He'll never even be remotely LeBron. You know, could Baker ever be LeBron? Let's say they won 2 or 3 Super Bowls. Maybe he could get up. Remember, football's bigger than basketball
Right.
in Cleveland,
but
Ohio.
the thing is, Skip, is that LeBron is like a hometown guy. He the guy.
And you know what? That's true. Touche. End of conversation. No, I don't think even Baker, with 3 Super Bowls, could be bigger than LeBron. Odell definitely can't. But the question shouldn't be about that. It should be, can Odell just blend?
Right.
You know, can he not be Odell anymore? Because he's going to be now surrounded by firepower,
Right.
where he can be a cog in the offense.
Right.
Not that he's
Right.
not the best receiver, but he's going to have to be more of a cog.
Well, the thing that concerns me, Skip, is that Freddie Kitchens is going to have to keep guys happy. Odell won his catches. Jarvis won
Okay.
his catches. Callaway says, I ain't taking a back seat. Higgins says, I'm pretty good. And Njoku
Okay,
says,
well, trust me, Baker favors nobody.
Right.
He favors who gets open.
and then you
Yeah.
got Chubb running the ball,
Then
and then
maybe
Kareem Hunt coming
yeah,
back.
Okay.
So,
and then Njoku's going to make.
yeah. I mean, that's the quarterback.
Yeah.
The quarterback has a hard job, Skip, not for the fact he plays a tough position, not that guys are trying to peel his cap, is that he has to keep a lot of mouths fed.
Yep.
And the minute it's like the bird, you know, Skip, when the birds can't feed themselves, the mama bird brings worms back. And she can't feed them all at the same time. And so the one that doesn't get the worm right away starts, he's hollering. Or it's hollering. So what you think? Okay, Jarvis gets like 2 or 3, and then Callaway get a few. Oh, they're like, how long, I tell you what, here's a better question, Skip. How long before Odell hit the kicking net, throw the helmet, kick something?
Just because he's Odell. And there's a part of him that thinks I have to do that to live up to my mystique, my Instagram
go, bro.
following, right?
Because they're not going
Right.
to be as forgiving. Everybody's going to say, Odell is, no, bro.
All right. I still say that Odell has a much better shot of succeeding in Cleveland than in New York. You know, again, it's in New Jersey, but with the Giants in the Big Apple.
Yeah,
okay?
well, the thing was his quarterback held him back.
Okay.
Skip, when your quarterback can't throw the ball 30 yards,
Okay, there's some of that, but the media is smaller, even though it'll gain a lot of national
Right.
attention. And again, Jarvis Landry is his closest friend in the world.
Yeah.
And remember, Adam Henry was his receivers coach at LSU and for a couple of years with the Giants, and is now the receivers coach for the Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
Will that help? Sure, it'll help. I just believe Odell will listen to Jarvis. He might listen to a degree to Adam Henry.
Yeah.
He knows him, trusts him, okay? And now you're surrounded by talent where you don't have to be the one and only.
Right.
You know, when he went on the field, he put on better shows in the pregame than during the game half the time, right? You don't need to do that in Cleveland because the whole offense could be the greatest show on grass, right? I mean, this could be it.
They could be special. You got to get it together.
Yeah.
Get in there and start getting some work early on.
Yep.
They got to make it to be really good, Skip. They really do.
Again, do I have doubts about the defense? I do. You had doubts about the Raider defense. I have doubts about this defense. I'm just not sure yet. Can it measure
Well,
up?
you just make sure your guy hold up here at the end of the deal.
Which guy?
You know your guy. You only got one guy in Cleveland.
I thought you were talking about Dak.
No,
how did he get into
you
this?
make sure your guy holds up here at the end of the deal in Cleveland.
I got lots of guys. I got Brady, I got Dak, I got Kyler, and I got Baker.
I was going to say.
And I'm good. That is.
Oh, you good,
Is
huh?
that not Hall of
Anybody
Fame?
else?
That's the dream
I just
team.
did Hall of Fame dream
Yo, so you
team.
want anybody else? You want any other quarterbacks you want? You want my homeboy? You want him too to top it off?
Nah. He lost to Brady twice last year. Come on.
No.
Come on.
The defense.
Wise up, grow up.
The
Come
defense lost to Brady. My homeboy got that trophy.
Yeah.
Go get another one too.
Yeah. And that gets you where?
He gonna get to the Super. I don't know. 'Cause they gave up all the defensive players. I don't know
saying
what
that,
they
yeah, I
do
don't
defensively in Kansas City, Skip. Maybe you know.
I don't know.
Justin Houston, D Ford, you trade him. Eric Berry, you let him go.
They're starting over with Spagnuolo. That's what they're doing. I don't know. Mahomes is good enough just to carry him by himself. That's what you tell me.
Don't do that, Skip.
Right?
Don't do that. Don't do that. That's
do
so
it
unbecoming.
too soon?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Give
Shannon.
him Coach Belichick defense, and my homeboy might win the next 5. Give him Coach Belichick, and he might win the next 5 Super Bowls.
So he's a part of your dream team,
Yep.
Belichick? Okay. I'm going to let you think about your guys in this next break. How about this for a statement? Should the Lakers have traded LeBron
Really?
last month?
Maybe.
Yep. We just said it. We'll discuss with Rob Parker next.
No mercy.
Well, did the Lakers really come close to trading LeBron? Bleacher Report's Rick Bucher wrote yesterday that leaks that were believed to be from LeBron's agent, Rich Paul, regarding a potential Anthony Davis trade made Lakers owner Jeannie Buss so mad that the idea of trading LeBron crossed her mind. Buss recently called out the media for, quote, fake news regarding the Davis trade rumors. We're joined by Rob Parker this morning.
What's
Good to have you
happening?
with us.
Good morning.
But Shannon, I will go to you first on this one. Are you surprised by the report?
I don't put no stock in that, Skip. You know what? Yesterday, for a second there, I thought about buying a place up in Malibu. It crossed my mind. You see how that came and went?
Sounds
Skip,
nice.
because it would make no sense to me. You've done everything you've done to hopefully, because you knew 2019 was going to be the year of the free agents. Now, LeBron came up first in 2018, and now you got KD, you got Kawhi, you got a host of the Kyrie and Jimmy Butler and a lot of other guys, Klay Thompson. You trade LeBron, okay. You know something I don't know, Jeannie Buss? Because if you trade LeBron, remember, although she hadn't run the team, her brothers was running it after her father passed, she been around. This is the 6th straight year they've missed the playoffs. But in the previous 5, there wasn't the buzz around the team that it is now. There wasn't the expectations about this team like it was in years past. This would make no sense to me. And what do you hope to get? What do you hope to get? Who gonna trade? Ain't nobody trade, because like I said, you're telling me LeBron is close to the end in the beginning. So why would I trade anything other than a bag of marble and a box of flour? So why would I trade anything for LeBron, Skip? He's close to the end in the beginning.
And as I reminded you earlier, if you trade him, you have a 15% trade kicker in his contract, so he would go from $35.6 million to $42 million.
Wow, what a raise.
So it's almost like an Antonio Brown deal where you say, would somebody please take him off our hands?
Yikes.
You know, could we pay you to take LeBron?
In the sporting term, we call that a poison pill. Because what it does, because if you swallow it, go kill you. Because that's why we put that in there, because we know it might happen. Because we know once we left Cleveland, Skip, because we didn't have we don't have 4 years of service with this team, we couldn't get that no trade clause. So we had to put a poison pill in there. Okay, you want my services? This is what it's going to cost you. Jeannie Buss need to stop. Now, we've given her a pass because she's nice and we like Jeannie. I like Jeannie. But hold on, Skip. Don't make it seem like she's been running this thing like R.C. Buford. Don't make it seem like she got this thing going, it's smooth sailing for the Lakers, because it ain't. That guy fell in your lap. It's like the winning lottery ticket. You just happen to walk in the store and find a lottery ticket on the floor, and next thing you know, you run it on the machine. You're like, what? I won $150 million.
That sounds nice.
That's what happened to her. They didn't recruit him. He came to you.
And why did he come to you?
Well,
because you are located in Hollywood, California.
Because
right?
it was the only, as he said before, it was the only franchise that was worthy of his services.
I don't think it was franchise. No, it was Hollywood.
It was Los
Hold
Angeles.
on.
You know it, Shannon. Stop.
It was the only organization that was worthy of a king's service.
You mean the organization that hadn't made the playoffs in 5 years? Is that the organization
They
you're
still
talking
the
about?
Lakers? Are they not the Lakers?
Yeah, but they're
Okay,
the down Lakers.
So?
But I will give you this. Did you go to journalism school?
I did.
Because I'm going to give you a little bit of credit here.
You did?
I did.
That's revisionist history.
I know.
Well, I mean, lying seemed to be a big thing in TV these days.
But the thing you said about the whole story, and we had Rick Bucher on our radio show, The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio, and we talked about that. Because the thing that was yesterday.
Oh, you had him
We
yesterday.
had him on the show yesterday.
Okay.
Great.
So it was the part where he said contemplating, or she contemplated it.
It crossed her mind.
It crossed her mind, which I agree with you from the standpoint of this. Because you know as well, Skip, if there was a trade or something involved, that would have been his lead, not 6 paragraphs in.
That's fair.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's number one, and that was a question that we talked to him about.
And he
now,
said
what he
what?
said,
Okay.
he said that no, she never picked up the phone and talked or engaged with anybody else. But did she think about it or like have this fleeting moment where she thought about it? Yes. So that answered the question why it wasn't his lead and why it was 6 paragraphs in. Because she never took any action on it.
Right.
And then you take a look and you say, you wouldn't give up LeBron or you wouldn't think about doing that. I think you would think about it only from the standpoint of this has been a failure. You can look at it any way you want. LeBron James, you know this. They were supposed to make the playoffs when he came here, okay?
Yes.
No matter what. And the other part, people keep going back. They were the 4th seed. LeBron got hurt. And that all sounds nice. But, Shannon, let's be honest. When he came back, they couldn't beat anybody with LeBron. They couldn't beat Memphis. They couldn't beat Atlanta. They couldn't beat New Orleans without AD, right?
Yeah.
I mean, those were games that if they would have won those games, they would have still been in the mix.
Right.
And that's what we all thought, that they would get in the playoffs the first year. They would survey the land with the young guys. None of that stuff happened. And the truth be told is, when you go back to KD, and Skip, he said it. Go back and read it. The environment around LeBron is toxic. And he's right. He nailed it. It's not that LeBron can't play and put up numbers, but it's always some drama. There's always something involved. And when all that stuff came out from Rich Paul or whoever, because the other part is, and Chris Broussard talked about it, was that when those names came out, it was the Lakers were a part to put out some of those names too, because they swung and missed on Paul George because they didn't go after him hard enough. Okay. So they didn't want to be looked at as like, here we go again, where AD might be available and we're like tiptoeing around. So we put it all out there. No, we're all the way in. We want this guy, and it backfired on them.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, I get it. The chance of them trading him is like almost zero. But to honestly think about where they are, where they're going moving forward, and if they can't get a second star in the offseason, and it's not guaranteed, this is going to be a disaster. His 4 years.
A second and a third star if they want to do business.
Right, but he needs at least a second star.
I would agree. I have known Rick Bucher for a long time. I trust him. I respect him. I'm taking all of this to the bank, that this isn't some shoddy, reckless reporting job
100%.
or some outlandish conclusion. So do I believe that Jeannie Buss, as he says, was furious at Rich Paul for leaking rumors about this, for sort of trying to power play this into existence? It felt like Rich was running the Lakers, like he was going to force this trade to happen. And she was, according to Rick Bucher, furious. And it took Rich Paul calling her and clearing the air and getting back in her good graces for her to back off the prospect, the thought in her head of, maybe I should just cut bait with everything. It's not just cutting bait with LeBron, but it's with Rich Paul and everything that LeBron brings to a franchise, which is he's going to dominate the whole show.
But if I'm LeBron, I'm looking at Jeannie a little different because if something crossed my mind and I don't tell nobody, how would they know?
You could be right about that.
Rob Parker, you can't tell me what crossed your mind, then I know what crossed your mind.
No, you
so
wouldn't know.
Rich Brew could know that this crossed your mind. Somebody named Jeannie Buzz had to tell me.
Agreed. The bridge is on fire.
I agree with that.
It's on fire. Rick goes on to say that several league executives would not be surprised if the Lakers at least explored their options going forward, trading LeBron. And he brings up the Bucks and the Celtics as possibilities of would they plunge for him? Would they give up?
Oh, yeah.
Would they plunge? Would they try to pair Giannis with LeBron going forward? Celtics got all the pieces, all the draft picks. You could try.
Would LeBron go? Or would he retire?
I don't
No, he ain't retired. We got too much basketball in him.
Well, he has no trade veto.
No, right. But I'm just saying, would he go and play? He came to Los Angeles for a reason.
But you know what, Rob? I noticed you didn't read it and Skip didn't read it. Because there's one Eastern Conference exec say LeBron James now, he's not good enough to take 4 cadavers to a finals. But you ain't read that. You got that.
Okay, wait a second. What is your point reading and re-emphasizing that quote?
The same thing.
You're looking into the past that you want to bring up the fact that he took 4 dead guys to the finals.
Oh, I didn't say
but you know what?
cadavers.
Kyrie had a pulse. Kevin Love had a pulse.
And they were also playing in the weak Eastern Conference, which helped out. Admit it.
Okay.
Is the West the same?
How many shots Kyrie hit for him last year?
Okay, but Shannon, you realize you're doing in your own argument because you're also reinforcing the fact he can't do that anymore.
No.
Father Time is tapping on shoulder.
Name the guy that can.
Well,
there's the reason why KD left OKC.
Hey, but you're telling me he's still the best player on the planet and he's the GOAT.
Best player.
Okay.
Hold on. So you're trying to tell me a best player can beat a best team? That's why Michael could not beat the Big Three Celtics. They had the better team. Am I right, Rob
Yes,
Parker?
they had Hall of Famers.
And what about the bad boy Pistons? He couldn't do it till he got better
He
players.
was a baby and he didn't get better players.
You see, I need your baby.
Come on,
now.
stop
You're a
it.
baby.
But you're not admitting that LeBron hasn't taken a step back this year, Shannon?
27, 8, and 8, stepping back.
Yeah.
Yes.
From where?
Because those
Roll out of bed
numbers are phony. They're not the same.
Not the same, because they're not
They're
winning.
not the same.
Because they're not winning.
Yes, because it does matter if you win,
Shannon, let's
Shannon. You
reread
know
the
that.
other quote from the Eastern Conference owner who said, I wouldn't gut my team for a player who isn't committed and is toward the end of his career. Committed. LeBron was not completely fully invested in this year's Lakers. He is chasing Michael B. Jordan as well as Michael Jordan. So there's 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
He
You've
done
got
passed
Hollywood
Michael
going
Jeffrey
on.
Jordan.
Okay.
So he
whatever.
might as well chase Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
He already done passed Michael Jeffrey.
It's partly about Hollywood now, to a fault. And again, he took one look at this team, which he liked going in. He asked for playmakers, not three-point snipers. And he said, yeah, we got a chance. And for a while, they played pretty well. But was he ever fully engaged? It didn't look like it to me. He looked lethargic.
And Skip, you know this too. Everywhere LeBron has always gone, he's already had his pieces in place. This was the first time that he showed up and go, well, I'll wait and see what happens, because he just wanted to be in Hollywood.
I want LeBron to be less committed next year. So next year, he might give me 30, 12, and 10. I want him to be less committed next year than what he is right now.
And what will you give us next year? 12th place? I don't
know.
It's hard for those Lakers fans, though. Their record at this point is the same as it was last season.
That's amazing.
Hold on.
Yikes.
The Lakers should be just fine. Because what was their record the previous 4 years before last year?
No, but they got LeBron to change all
and
that.
what else?
At least to be in a better place.
How many championships did Shaq bring before he got Kobe? How many championships did Kobe bring before he got Powell? And Andrew Bynum turned it around.
But
stop playing.
Is he the best player?
Best player. Is he on the best team? Put KD, switch positions.
But we're not even talking about championship. We're talking about making the playoffs, Skip, where half the league makes the playoffs in their sleep.
Okay.
And the Lakers aren't going to be one of them.
Whatever.
We're switching gears to the Packers because they are also making moves. So is the pressure now on Aaron Rodgers?
Yep.
Discuss.
No.
Yep.
No.
No mercy.
Packers haven't been shy about opening up their wallet in free agency so far, including a couple of high-priced linebackers. Some believe the moves were made because the window is closing on a 35-year-old Aaron Rodgers. But their GM said, quote, wait, this is Green Bay, Wisconsin. We're in a win-now mode all the time. We're joined once again by Rob Parker. So, Rob, do you agree with that?
I do. And you know what? Green Bay is always about winning. And Aaron Rodgers, for years, has always given them a chance. They were always in the mix, Shannon, when they would talk about the odds, right, every year. And you would look at their defense, know it wasn't good enough, and they would still be up there because of that guy, A-Raj. And Skip, I know you're saying the years have passed him by.
I haven't said a word.
Yeah,
No, I know, but I know you will say that.
Yeah, I can
Okay?
just sit here and just like emanate
Take it in.
wisdom, right? Go ahead.
Tom Brady went 9 years between winning a Super Bowl. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Yes. 05 through 14. Do you remember those years, Skip?
Then what happened?
Okay, no, but I'm just saying, Aaron Rodgers, this is 8 years he's gone without. So
We do.
the
8
second
years
act,
without a Super Bowl?
the second act is about to happen, just like Tom Brady when he got his second act.
Okay.
All right, so
Well,
just
wait a second. Tom had already won 3 before the
No,
drought.
but I'm just saying
and now
that-
he's won 3 since
But I'm
the drought.
talking about the drought that you can still win years later.
Right.
That just because you haven't won doesn't mean you can't win again. And we saw it last year, and we know the defense has been awful. Go look at those playoff games and those other opportunities that they had. If it wasn't, I don't know.
51 gave up to the Cardinals.
They gave up-
37 to the Giants. Yeah, you know it, Skip.
You remember San Francisco in that playoff game when Colin Kaepernick ran all over the defense. There have been game after game after game where Aaron Rodgers has no chance because of the defense. So they need to finally, remember they got rid of Ted Thompson finally. They're starting to spend money, right, on free agents. 1 year, they had every player on their roster except for 2 were drafted by the Packers. They had almost no players from anywhere else, and I think they finally got over that because it wasn't working.
Correct.
So now they're going out, they're spending some money. Aaron Rodgers isn't done. First of all, he's not 35. In football years, Skip, he's 32.
Oh.
3 years, Shannon, he didn't play. He threw 35 passes, completed 35 passes his first 3 years. Those are years he wasn't getting hit. Nothing was happening to him.
wasn't
He's
good
younger.
enough yet,
He's
right?
Don't do this,
younger.
yeah, don't
No,
do
they
that.
had the old goat still there.
Learning.
All right?
The old goat.
Yeah, they
At
had
least
the old
he's a goat.
No,
No,
right.
not
that
serious.
goat, right.
Gotta go.
So I just think that, yes, do they have a shot with Aaron Rodgers as you move forward? Last year we saw 25 touchdowns, 2 picks.
What?
I mean, most guys would accept that and take that and go to the bank with that. I mean, it wasn't an Aaron Rodgers type year, but most guys would. So is he poised with a good defense to come back? Is that division in the NFC North available? Absolutely, it's available. Expect the Packers to win the NFC North with a healthy, rejuvenated Aaron Rodgers. I know the Bears are there.
I was gonna say, have you
I know
noticed what the Bears are
Yeah, did you
doing?
see the Bears losing the playoff game at home last year?
Well, to Nick Foles, I did.
Well, they lost,
He's the
right? To a
magic
backup
man.
quarterback.
The magic man.
Yeah,
To a
man,
backup
first of all,
quarterback.
You know what, Skip Bayless? Look, the Packers know they're only going to go as far as Rodgers take them. But they also know it's not his age that they're concerned about, Skip. They're concerned about these injuries that's starting to happen with greater regularity.
Thank you.
As you mentioned, Rob, this was a team that did not rely on free agency. They like to develop their players, and then Rodgers would take us home. Well, he can't do it. He can't do that alone. So they go into the free agent market. They get Zadarius Smith. They get Preston Smith. They get Adrian Amos. They get Billy Turner. Oh, so now you realize
Oh,
it.
Super Bowl, here they come.
I didn't say that, Skip. But no, he talking about, we're always. No, you're not. Because when you draft players, you can tell the team that, look, unless you Coach Belichick, and even him, he'll go into the free agent market, Skip. They might not be household names, but they feel a specific need for that team. Green Bay, for the longest time, we're not going to spend any money. We don't do the free agents, and we draft them, and we develop our players. Okay, while you waiting, because you had that Polaroid. See, while you doing this right here, everybody else had a camera phone. Their picture come out instantaneous. So they got with this new program, Skip. They started spending money in free agency, and I expect Aaron Rodgers to stay healthy. I expect Green Bay to be in the mix again.
What mix?
For the NFC North.
The barely win the division mix or what?
Look.
Finish second in the division?
No, win the division.
Look, Chicago is good. Their defense, they're good. Minnesota, we're going to see what Kirk Cousins can. He rebound.
Did you see what Aaron Rodgers did on one leg to that Chicago defense last year?
We already know
that
what
was
Detroit.
his one shining moment.
Well, but that was a big comeback.
No. He had another shining moment against what you call it. Remember against Minnesota?
He went 6-9-1 last year.
You remember against Minnesota,
I
and the
remember.
kicker just started doinking stuff.
That was Kirk
Boing,
Cousins.
boing.
I know.
6-9-1.
Whatever.
And
I
against the
keep
Lions.
trying to tell both of you, Aaron Rodgers has become the LeBron James of the National Football League.
wow.
You wish.
He is the drama king in Green Bay because he is a finger-pointing blame deflector a la the king, quote unquote.
He ain't been blaming nobody lately,
king.
has he?
I don't know. He threw his whole team under the bus the other day. What was the quote about it? You know, I just didn't have enough. Well,
I was dealt.
right. I played the hand I was dealt.
Yeah, you did.
But that's
Dangerous.
true, though, isn't it?
No.
I mean,
Can't
He
he say
chose.
we
He
were
chose. He
dealt?
chose.
No, we ain't no, the dealer don't deal with me and you a hand. He deals
When you're
you
on
one,
a
he deal
team,
me
they
one.
do.
Green Bay is effectively saying, I'm going to give you this one. They're effectively saying that Aaron Rodgers can no longer take 10 cadavers to the Super Bowl.
Oh,
right? Am I
oh,
right?
really?
Am I right?
Yes.
Wasn't that the LeBron quote?
Yes.
Okay. Because that was 8 years ago that he got 10 cadavers effectively to the Super Bowl.
that team was good, the one that won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
All those playoff road wins.
Yep, they were good. They were much better on defense. I will give you that.
Okay.
So now they are trying to rebuild on the fly, retool on the fly on defense. I like Zadarius Smith. I don't know if you, but listen, do you like him to the tune of 4 years and $66 million? Because Clay Matthews is probably a goner. He's out on the market now. Maybe we'll come to the Rams, right? He's on his last legs.
But Skip, you know you got to overpay in free agency.
Okay, well, that was a big overpaying. I
Especially
think.
to go to Green Bay.
And
Yeah.
listen, Preston Smith, that might even be bigger. 4 years, $52 million as an edge rusher because he never caught my eye, Preston Smith. Like, really? Preston Smith? Billy Turner's a good player, and you lost him from your Denver Broncos. But he's an offensive guard. Will he change life in Green Bay? Probably not. Adrian Amos is the new safety. Remember, they let go of Ha-Ha, who went to Washington. Now he came to replace Adrian Amos in Chicago. I think that will make Chicago's defense even a little bit better. So Chicago is getting better too. Chicago's on the rise, and Aaron Rodgers is on the decline.
No,
You
he's
mentioned
not.
He's beat.
25 touchdowns, two picks.
You know what? That is the biggest misleading, phony stat in the history of stats. Because the bigger stats are he finished 26th last year in completion percentage, and he shattered the all-time record for throwaways. So what was he doing? He was going LeBron. Extremely high IQ.
You know what?
Well, listen, LeBron knows exactly how to play the game to his benefit. He knows how to score points that might not contribute to winning the basketball game. Aaron Rodgers has realized, what's the glorifying stat of all? No interceptions. So he finishes, what was it, 25 to
25-2.
25-2. But he shattered the record for throwaways, which tells you that every time there was a small window, like, I'm not going to do it, I'll throw it in the third row. Like, do I want to take that risk? No.
No, he don't take unnecessary
Okay.
risks.
What did Tom Brady say after they lost at Detroit? He said, I've got to get more aggressive. I've got to take more chances down the field, which he did. And it can result in some interceptions. It can result also in lots more big plays.
When the Patriots took off, Tom Brady was dinking and dunking. Go look at the end of the season.
And look at the running back running the
Did
ball.
you see him dink
Yes.
and dunk against San Diego and Kansas City? I don't know.
It
Hold
was
on,
dinking and dunking.
But here's the thing that goes to Aaron. He hasn't had a top 10 scoring or total defense since that Super Bowl in 2010. And he's only had 2 such defenses in his tenure.
But last year he had a Pro Bowl receiver in Devontae Adams. He any good?
Yeah.
So he had help. He had
I
some big
say
help.
defense.
Okay, but I'm
Was
just
it-
saying, can your offense overcome the defense
No.
occasionally? Because they couldn't last year.
Yeah, your offense couldn't overcome that either, remember?
Who?
Your offense couldn't overcome when Coach
Who's my
Belichick.
offense? Oh.
Patriots. Remember you talking about he lost his fastball. He scored 33 points. He had 600 yards, threw for 505, but they gave up 41.
You
What's
remember
he
that?
supposed to do with that?
That was the defense.
What are you talking about?
the Super Bowl.
I know exactly. Tom Brady scored the most points a Super Bowl loser has ever scored
But it's
by
about-
far.
but it's about the
33.
Defense.
If I told you Tom Brady was going to score 33 against a top 5 Philly defense, what would you have told me? Rout, blowout.
If I'd have told you Tom Brady's going to score 13 points and throw an interception in the game, what would you have told me?
I'd say he'd make the one throw.
I
that
know.
he-
There we go. You knew that was
Am I
coming.
right?
You knew that.
Did I?
No,
Did he
you're not right.
He should have been the MVP.
No, he
We
should
should
not
not have.
He played so poorly the first 3 quarters.
You guys got to face the facts. Aaron Rodgers is on the downside.
No,
He's
not.
only
He needs-
32 football years.
Boy, he's going to be 36 next
No,
December.
no.
That's what this says.
Skip, the
36?
first 3 years he didn't even play.
I love how we do football years like
You
dog
know, like
years.
dog
No,
years.
it's not
You
the
know
same.
that. It's
You know
a
what?
difference.
You know, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I'm just saying he's had 2 miserable years. I know he got hurt the year before,
Yeah.
but by his standards, his stats are screaming to you, aging.
He didn't miss any games, but he got nicked again this year, and he wasn't and he didn't move like he normally moves for the better half of the
Did you
season.
see those 2 young stud receivers he had last year, Valdez-Scantling and Equanimous? They're 6'4" and 6'5", and you can't do anything with them?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. What about when you can't stop anybody?
Huh.
All right, Rob, thank you for being here today. It's always good to have you, but you rile these two up.
And we're going to have a bet on this, on the Packers.
We got time.
When the
We
season
got time to
starts,
figure
before
this
the
out.
season
Speaking of football years, Le'Veon Bell sat out last season, but was that a big waste of time? We'll discuss with Sean Merriman next.
No mercy.
Le'Veon Bell said yesterday he doesn't regret anything that happened last season and that he has a, quote, beautiful deal with the Jets. That beautiful deal is 4 years for just over $52 million with $25 million guaranteed. The average per year is actually less than what he would have made next season if he signed the franchise tag and stayed in Pittsburgh. We're joined by FS1 NFL analyst Sean Merriman. Sean, good morning. Good to have you with us. So, did Le'Veon make the right move sitting out last year?
No. I don't think he did. I don't think this deal was necessarily just about money. I think it was more a principle
Okay.
as
Yes.
well, right? Because he took just as much money or less money with the Jets than he would have if he got from the Steelers.
Right.
What he basically said was, I did what I had to do. You guys give me a bigger guarantee or I'm not coming in.
Right.
And it backfired, right? Because your agent, anytime you hold out, and I've been in a situation, anytime you hold out, your agent give you a few options, right? He say, if you do this, this is going to happen. If you do this, this is going to happen. And if his agent came to him and said, if you hold out, you're going to be missing $14 million, then that's completely Le'Veon Bell's fault, and he's never going to see that money again.
Never.
He's never going to see that money again. And Shannon, we know now, I look back at my career and I'm like, some of the things I bought or did or wasted money on, I'm like, man, why did I do that? So he's happy right now. But in 10 or 15 years, he's going to sit back and say, you know what? I could have used $14 million right now. He can never go back and get that money again.
What did you buy that you regretted?
Cars. Cars. You've been out.
curious.
You've been out to nightclubs. You said, why did I buy those bottles? You didn't need those bottles, right? I mean, you
Probably
look
not.
back and
Yeah,
say,
ain't about no bottle.
yeah, you're doing this stuff. So I think
don't
that,
last long.
Yeah, so right now he doesn't feel it. He doesn't feel it because he got a brand new
Sure.
25, guaranteed.
Yeah.
But in 10 or 15 years, he's gonna sit back and say, man, I can use $14 million.
I think the thing is for him. I don't think he did, but Le'Veon. But let me tell you why. Because you look at it, he says, okay, yes, I could have played last year with $14 million, but if I get hurt, running backs are different than any other position. Earl Thomas got hurt in back-to-back years and still hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
A running back gets hurt, they're already looking for a way to decrease your value. There's no way he's getting $25 million guaranteed. If he misses 2 games last year, and the Steelers said, well, we had 5 years at $70 million, but we know what that is. You basically had a 1-year deal. Because Antonio Brown, remember, he had that extension skip for $68 million, and it turned out to be a 1-year deal. So Le'Veon says, hold on. No, I need some guaranteed money in year 2. Steelers say, nah, we don't really do that in, year 2. What we like to do is like, if you act up, we don't like to have any more obligations because a lot of times if you act up and we got to pay you $10 million guaranteed, we got to keep you around here and you're going to probably act up again.
Yep.
So that's the way he's looking at it. No, I mean, he's like, if I could have come out and be healthy, yeah, he could have got that 25. He might have even gotten more. Had he played, he'd have got 14 plus. But he's like, you know what? The injury. But Skip, you remember in the beginning, I said that from day one. I don't know how he goes back into that locker room. After what those linemen said, and then hearing Ben say, well, even if Le'Veon comes back, Connor's role shouldn't be decreased. I was like, man, ain't no way he going back in there. And he said it. He said he went back to Pittsburgh and he was sitting on his couch. He's like, you know what?
He told ESPN that
Yeah,
he did.
man, I need to go on back in there. But then he's like, they don't even really want me.
They don't want me in there.
We had that conversation. I say, I've never seen teammates come out this strong. 'Cause normally when it comes to money, we leave that alone. Bro, get that paper.
Yep.
Because you're going to make it good for everybody else. But for them to take the kind of approach and say, oh, it ain't him, it's us. We the one that's putting it. I'm like, bruh.
I liked what Le'Veon said yesterday because I felt sorry for him. And he was trying, again, he called it a beautiful deal that he got from the Jets, and he was beautifully delusional yesterday.
Yeah, of course
In
he
a good
was.
way, like trying to put a completely
Yeah.
positive spin because he's a little embarrassed. Maybe he's in a little humiliated.
Yeah.
He knows what you guys said is exactly right. He knows it deep down. You can spin it that, well, I'm healthier. I got healthy last year. I lost no tread on my tires. Maybe I can extend my career farther because I got that valuable year off right in the middle of my career. You can make that case, and maybe he'll be right. I don't know, but I'm going to bet against him.
Yeah.
And I'm with you guys. Listen, 14.5, that's a lot of money.
What? And to make it even worse, and you know that you're not going to be around after this year, you sign that piece of paper that guarantees you $14 million walking in, and now you dictate your rules going forward.
Right.
Hey, coach, my ankle's a little sore. I can't practice on Wednesday. I can't practice on Thursday. I can't go here. Maybe you get ready for the games on Sunday and you take care of your body, but you get that guaranteed money because there's not another job out here in the country that's going to guarantee you $14 million when you sign on the paper.
Because you know what? Here's the thing, what makes it even more. Todd Gurley had 2 years left on his contract, and he got more guaranteed money
He did.
than Le'Veon Bell, who was totally free.
Yep.
That's what get guys upset when free agency is not about being good. It's about being free.
Yep.
And that's what guys that's under contract, they're looking at some of the money. You mentioned guy got 4 years, $66 million. J.J. Watt's like, what?
It's the timing.
How this
right?
dude making more money than me?
Yep.
No way he could get that. They're looking at all these safeties.
You're right.
Like, he got that. That's what makes it so upsetting. And Le'Veon held out to try to reset the market. But it's hard for a running back, Skip, because the position, you take such a pounding.
Yep.
They saw you put 406 carries on your body. Another 350 plus the couple of years before that.
Yep.
It's hard for a running back to get that kind of money. That's why you got to that's what teams do. They bring you in. They know the most productive you're going to be is in the first 5 years of that rookie contract. So they're going to run the treads off you so that, bro, we can't give you this kind of money. You got 2,000 carries on your body. How we going to give you this money?
So I'm listening to the audio of his conference call yesterday with the New York media, and I'm listening to it last night thinking, is that Le'Veon? It didn't sound like Le'Veon. He's speaking softly and sweetly. And then I went back and watched the clip where he got caught by TMZ coming out of some club or wherever about playing for the Jets, and he said, I wouldn't play for the Jets for $100 million, okay?
yikes.
And it's a whole different voice and swagger because he raps, like listen to his rap, and that's a whole different guy.
Yeah.
And I know that guy.
I do
but,
too.
Yeah, I didn't know this guy on the conference call. This was humbled Le'Veon.
Skip, that was a different kind of courage he had in his system.
Oh, bingo.
He didn't really mean that.
Yes, for $100 million.
I got that kind of courage. Man, I ain't eating no potted meat. I ain't eating no Vienna sausage. Check with me 35 years ago, I was gobbling them up. He said that then because he thought he was in an advantageous situation.
Yeah.
Now the Jets come along, and that's all he have. That's all you got to eat. Well, that's all you got to eat, Skip. Guess what? You eating possum, raccoon, rabbit. Now you talking about, I don't eat no. Last night I had some Wagyu, that old Japanese A5. $100 3 ounces.
expensive.
I had me a 9-piece.
You
had a
did?
9 ounce. Woo, that thing was something butter.
Gotta go to dinner with
Really?
you.
Just eating it up. Yeah, have me a good old time.
Now, that's good for you.
That's good for, ooh, Skip, that thing was so good. I say, cook it up. Cook it up.
That raccoon, not so good for you.
No, Skip, I'm not saying I would indulge now, but when I was coming up,
Yep.
what
You
you
would've took it.
Would have took it? I took it. Ain't no would have. I did.
You ever had squirrel?
Love squirrel and rice.
I used to eat a lot
I eat
of
it right
squirrel.
now. I eat a raccoon right now. If my sister cook it.
Squirrel's some serious red meat, man.
Yeah.
You leave me out of that conversation.
Me too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My sister cook. Let me tell you,
take
Skip, what you do.
your
Get your old pan, get you some tinfoil. You get your nice medium-sized raccoon, bell peppers, some onions,
That
some
one.
celery.
Yep.
You chop him up and you put him in that oven about 350 for about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
I have a lot of questions, but I don't know if we have time to
Yeah.
break this all down.
So I got one positive spin on this
Please.
for the Jets. I do think Le'Veon, he concluded by saying, I've got so much built up in me that's now time to unleash it, let it go. I think he's going to come out with a vengeance next year. Okay, watch this. So the Jets should get the best of Le'Veon coming out of the block.
It's a great deal for the Jets.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But if I'm a defense, guess what I'm going to do, Skip? I ain't letting Le'Veon run. Because I know what he can do. Let me see what that quarterback can do.
I'm not sure about that.
Well, we're going to find out.
Yep.
Because I'm not letting Le'Veon run the ball.
Yep.
Sean said he regretted a few purchases. Do you have any regrets?
Man, look here.
Look here?
Let me
Look
tell
at
you
what?
Okay, because Jenny asked me a couple of weeks ago, like when I first got my big check, what I had to buy. Now, my brother bought me a 300Z. I was in college, a sophomore in college. My brother bought me a 300Z.
That'll work.
My senior year, he bought me a 300 Mercedes. Them 2 years into the league, he bought me a S550.
You
Mercedes.
owe him, man.
And then he turned around, had a Ferrari. So you know what? I said, man, bro, been good to me.
He has.
So I got my big payday.
No, you didn't.
I cut him a check, $300K.
Whoa.
For
all that y'all done for me.
Okay.
Pretty nice.
Man, I used to go to Daytona Black College Beach Week, have five bands in my pocket.
wow.
Yeah.
I
Driving
just like
what?
to think about
I
you
was
in
I was
your
driving
element.
an SL convertible Mercedes. Oh, he used to let me. Oh, he had a Porsche, a Strosik Porsche. I was the baddest dude on the lot.
I believe
Really?
you.
Yeah, I was the baddest dude on the lot.
And
I would've
couldn't get a
enjoyed that.
date. I bet.
Wow! Oh, yeah.
Harsh.
Wow! You know what? I couldn't. I was booed up. I had me a girl. I was booed up in
You probably
college.
didn't tell any of us about it. Speaking of big contracts, will Odell Beckham be an even better player in Cleveland? We will discuss next.
No mercy.
Well, expectations are sky high in Cleveland after their addition of Odell Beckham. He made the Pro Bowl 3 times with the Giants, but dealt with injuries the last 2 seasons. Odell has 44 touchdowns in 59 career games in the NFL. And Sean Merriman is back with us. So, will Odell be even better in Cleveland than he was with the Giants?
You know, any big wide receiver I've ever played with, ever seen, is always happy when the quarterback can get him the football.
Okay.
No matter what. I mean, a lot of people automatically assume because he's leaving New York and going to Cleveland or you're going to a small market team that a guy like Odell Beckham will be upset. No, he's happy anytime he can get the football. That was the problem in New York. It wasn't the fact of anything else other than Eli Manning couldn't get him the football.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield is not only going to get him the football, but is going to set him up in position to win games now. You look at the games that they lost last year, a couple close games the Cleveland Browns lost to even contend in that division. You add Odell Beckham, they can get 2 or 3 games won by those close games they lost last year.
Yep.
So that's what makes guys unhappy. That's what makes guys not want to be in an organization when they're not winning. It has nothing to do with him and his off the field. And he's got, he has a lot of emotion.
Right.
Which I can deal with guys like that all day. I can deal with guys complaining that they're not winning or even having fits and going crazy on the sideline. I can deal with all those things because that's really, they're just showing that I want to be here and I want to win. Everything's going to change for him. I think that's the best move that's been made this offseason.
Well, I'm glad you can deal with that because I couldn't deal with that.
Now I'm saying for Cleveland,
Yeah.
not for New York.
Okay.
I agree with what you said. I believe he's going to play better, Skip, because it's hard for me to believe. You poll every general manager and you ask them right now, who's a better quarterback, Baker Mayfield or Eli Manning? And I bet you to a man they say Baker Mayfield. What Odell does really well, Eli did not do well, which is push the ball down the field. And that's what you got to do.
Remember, Baker can buy a little time to push it too, that Eli couldn't
and
buy.
the thing, Skip, there's only so many jailbreak screens and under routes you can run. If I'm a receiver, I need to get down the field. I see Julio getting down the field. I see D. Hopkins. I see Mike Evans. I see all these guys getting all these big plays down the field, and here I am catching slant routes. Here I am catching stop routes. Nah, bro. I believe he'll work better here. Hopefully, him being, as you mentioned, Skip, being with Jarvis, who's his best friend.
Yep.
He can talk to him like, look, bro, I know you upset.
Calm down. That's what he'll tell him.
Calm.
Just calm down. We got this.
And he knows,
Yep.
Skip, because he can't bring the same type of attitude to Cleveland. Because, okay, they're going to say, okay, it was Eli. The Giants didn't handle you correctly. That's on them. But if you go to another situation, okay, the common denominator in these two situations is you.
I'm with you. I think he's going to be much better in Cleveland because I think you're going to get less Odell in Cleveland and more Beckham. Beckham as in just another one of the wideouts because they got woof, they got a track team. Little Callaway can just fly deep. And obviously Jarvis underneath, he's tough, he's physical, he's fearless.
You
he's
like
a
Higgins.
route runner. Yeah, I love Higgins because Baker loved Higgins last year, and they were connecting, man.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, and Njoku, he had a connection with
Yes.
Baker down in the red zone. He did Njoku, and Njoku would take 3 or 4 shots and get to the goal line. I don't know, he might even have a little Sharpe in him. I don't know.
Slow down.
A little bigger. He's a little bigger.
He's a lot bigger.
Yeah, a lot bigger. So the point is that you can blend here in a good way.
Right.
Because to me, Odell, because he made the greatest catch in the history of the world, he had to immediately start living up to that off the field and on the sidelines. Like he became a solo act for what was mostly a bad football team.
Yes.
His pregame warm-up was a better show than his in-game production often was. Seriously,
Yes.
it was. And in part because Eli just couldn't get him the football.
Correct.
In part because they didn't have second and third options that could take enough heat off him.
Right.
That teams like against Dallas. Did I ever really fear Odell? Not really, because he was pretty quiet against Dallas. He beat him the one time in the rain up there with one catch. He made one catch, and he broke free just one shot.
Well, they tried, Skip. You know, they brought in Brandon Marshall. They brought in a lot of different guys to try to put outside to help him to relieve some of the pressure. Now this is the first time in his NFL career he has guys that can actually relieve some of the pressure in the passing game off of him.
And I think he's going to get swept up in the momentum of we're winning. We got a shot. We could win this division. We could break through and be the hottest team in the league, like the hot new thing. Don't you think he's going to enjoy that? Do you think? Because that's, you know this. That is more fun than being a solo act in the end, because the solo act leaves you empty.
Right.
And they got two number 1 wide receivers.
Right.
I mean, both of these guys are number 1, but Jarvis, Landry knows he's number 2. And I'm sure he doesn't.
But they will compete with each
Yeah,
other.
they'll compete, of course, and that's always best. It's
in
almost
a positive way.
You got 2 guys you want to be the man no matter where you play at. You want to be the guy.
Yeah.
But it's the same situation you look at the Steelers. Juju now has to go and be number 1. When you got two number 1 wide receiver, 2 guys who can go out and contribute and produce on the field, somebody's going to be extremely happy, and just somebody's going to be happy.
Right.
Odell Beckham's going to be extremely happy. Landry's going to be happy because now you have someone to go and stretch the field, run these deep routes, take all the attention off you, and you're going to get the stats at the end of the day that you want in the first place.
You know, it's going to be different because, remember, they played 3 years together, he and Jarvis at LSU.
Right.
And it was Jordan Jefferson, and they got to the national championship game with Jordan Jefferson. They're throwing like 8 passes a game. You know, it's a running offense.
Right.
Play defense, run the football. And then they had Mettenberger, who was okay, but it was still more of a run-based play defense. So all of a sudden, Baker, what do I always say? He's a careful gambler.
Right.
Like, he doesn't throw that many interceptions, but he will take big risks. If he sees it and feels it, he will wing and prayer it. Trust me.
But Sean, you know, understand this, but you played with Sean Phillips. But sometimes it's like, you know what? We're not going to let Sean Merriman beat us today. So we're going to slide the protection to him. We're going to chip him with the back. And then Phillips.
I think that was every day.
And then Phillips is getting the one-on-one.
Okay.
Now Phillips has the big game, and now it's like, well, we got to slide the protection to him, and now you getting the one-on-one.
Absolutely.
And that's how Odell. That's how you're gonna have to approach it. Sometimes you're gonna get the double coverage, and when the other guy goes bonkers, they're gonna start rolling the coverage to him, and this will be your opportunity.
Okay, if they win and Odell catches 2 balls, is he going to be okay?
No.
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 He still wants to be the man.
Skip, I want to win. But can I be the man while we win?
Right.
Can I get that 150? What's the difference? Why I got to catch 2 balls and we win? Why can't I catch 10 and we still win?
Well,
It can't happen at all.
I'm not sure that will work.
I'm just telling you. I'm telling you how the mind of a wide receiver thinks, Skip.
It is a different mindset. All
Well,
right.
they can be. He could turn into big play Shea. You know,
Yeah, you know.
one big catch.
Yeah, well, hold on. I turned into big
One to the crib.
Yeah, I turned into big play Shea
At Baltimore.
in year 13, year 14, year 12, stuff like that. Not in year 8, not in year 9. No. I need to be. Give me the rocks.
Well, they got Chubb and they got now Kareem Hunt after 8 games, so they'll also be handing the ball
Oh, they're
off.
going to run that thing to Chubby now because you know the weather get really bad in those areas in Cleveland and Cincinnati and Baltimore and Pittsburgh.
gotta run it.
Yeah.
But how excited are we to watch the Browns? I mean, that is just in
Must
itself.
To me, I think they become instantly the most exciting team to watch in
Exactly.
football.
Yeah.
Because there's so many
That's
offensive
a
weapons.
mouthful you just said.
I hope
Yeah, it is. They're going to be the most exciting team. Now, I don't know what their record's going to be at the end of the day, but they're going to be the most exciting team to watch in football this year.
You know what, Skip Bayless? They're going to get a couple of games where Jim Nance and Tony Romo call their games. And you would have never thought that.
How long has it been since they've had a couple of their games? It's interesting.
Hard Knocks was just 1 year too early.
Let's just make it.
And it was
2
still
years in a
great.
row.
The Raiders. I bet the Raiders get it this year.
Yep, you're probably right.
But
I'll watch
is it a
that.
good thing or a bad thing sometimes?
You know the Patriots are not going to get it. What are they going to say?
You couldn't handle
They already
that.
turned it down. Right? Didn't they ask?
Yeah, no Coach Belichick.
I don't think you'd watch Shannon. Too much Tom for you.
No, they ain't going to say nothing. Patriots not going to say nothing. They blah.
Tom Brady is deep, man. You see him
what
on
he is.
Instagram.
Not blah. He's the
Look at Sean. Look at
All right, Sean, good to have you. Thank you for being here on this Friday. So the Steelers, well, they lost 2 big stars this week, but are they actually better? Are they a better team now? We'll discuss next.
No mercy.
Past week, the Steelers have moved on from both Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell. Former Pittsburgh tight end Jesse James is now in Detroit, and yesterday he was very blunt about the issues with the Steelers and their locker room. He said, quote, "I think things went out of control pretty fast at the end of the season." James even compared the team to the Kardashians.
Right.
That's not very nice. Okay, Shannon, after all their moves, are the Steelers better or worse now?
I believe they're worse. I get it, Skip, if these guys couldn't play and they was causing conflict in the locker room. But when you lose AB, 6 straight seasons in which he's caught at least 100 passes, 1,200 yards, average 8 touchdowns. Nobody in the history of the game has ever done that. Le'Veon Bell. Look, James Conner had an unbelievable season, especially given what he overcame. But he's not Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell, before he took last year off, was one of the 2 best backs in all of football. That's what's leaving that locker room. And you know why I say they're not going to be any better? Because the guy that's the worst leader, I believe, in the NFL is still there, and that's Ben Roethlisberger. They've done nothing about him but reward him with a new contract. They haven't yet, but they're about to. So he's still there. So, no, I do not believe that they're going to be a better team this year than they were last year.
Ben Roethlisberger's won 2 Super Bowls and been to 3.
Ancient history.
6 Pro Bowls.
Ancient history. That's
I don't
what you
think
tell
6
me.
Pro Bowls are ancient history.
Is that what you just tell me?
He's led the league twice in passing yards. He was 3rd best last year, not ancient history, last year in QBR. He's 3rd in the league in QBR.
Who's number 1?
Wake me up when they lose Ben Roethlisberger, and then we can have this conversation.
All those things, those 2 Super Bowls, been to 3, those 6 Pro Bowls, the 5,000-yard passing season. You ain't mentioned nothing about his leadership because you say you put a lot of stock in leadership.
I do,
Okay,
and I do
then.
not think he's a great leader. In fact, I will give you he's a below-average leader, but I think he will be on more of a hot seat to rise and shine this year, as will his head coach. I'm still a fan of his head coach, but now the decks are cleared and the air is cleared. This is going to be a happier, more unified locker room and football team. It just has to be because all that is gone.
Well, he can't.
right?
Well, let's see, Skip. Let's see. There's no Haley, the offensive coordinator. He left a couple of years ago. He can't throw him under the bus.
Nope.
AB's gone. He can't throw him under
Nope.
the bus. Le'Veon's gone. So who gets thrown up under the bus now?
Well, maybe nobody needs to get thrown under the bus. Maybe they're just going to take off. I still think they're a little better in Cleveland because their defense is a little better.
Okay.
They tied for 1st in sacks last year. I told you I love James Washington from what he did at Oklahoma State and was not able to do, and the quarterback was all over him last year. I think he starts to grow up right before your very eyes. They went and got Dante Moncrief yesterday. Moncrief's pretty good. He had a pretty quietly good, he caught 48 balls for 668 from Blake Bortles last year. So, again, he was a former 3rd-round pick out of Ole Miss. He was decent at Indy. Put him in there with Juju and James Washington, and all of a sudden with Vance McDonald, they're still pretty good. Their offensive line is better than Cleveland's.
Oh, yeah, the offensive line is better than Cleveland. But that ain't AB. That's not Le'Veon.
Okay.
And the fact of the matter is, Skip, like you said, they've made the decision. Everything is replaceable except what? Because these guys are so hard to come by. Remember how long they had to go between Terry Bradshaw and Ben Roethlisberger. They don't want another quarter century to pass.
Okay, but Ben is still there.
Yeah.
So you're the one
It's still
position
bad.
you need.
Terrible leader.
Okay, he is, but he's not a terrible player.
No.
He is not.
But-
And seriously, James Conner, you don't think that line loves to block for him
Yeah.
more than it did for Le'Veon?
But think about what you said. He's not a terrible player, but he's a terrible leader.
Okay.
Antonio Brown is not a terrible player, but he's a terrible teammate. You see, Jenny? You see how that worked?
Okay.
Okay, then. So what we going to do about that?
I'd rather lose the diva wideout than the quarterback. You can't replace the quarterback. You can replace the wide. You can come closer to replacing the wideout.
The quarterback was really, really well when he was not in a leadership position. When they had Alan Faneca and Buss and Joey Porter and Hines Ward, do you notice that, Skip? And Coach Cowher ran that ship.
Yep.
And it was when they started giving Ben Roethlisberger more and more power that they started having these problems. You never heard about this before.
How many wide receivers have come and gone in Pittsburgh
A lot.
over the years? A whole bunch.
Yes.
6 of one, half dozen of the other. AB is really talented. He's really good.
He's the best one.
He will add voltage to the Oakland offense, obviously.
Yes.
But they can figure that out in Pittsburgh because they always have. They have a legacy and a tradition of doing that. They can fall back on, we are the Steelers. It's hard for the Raiders to fall back on that because they haven't been the Raiders for so long.
Haven't had it. You know what just dawned on me? I think AB posting about Carr is more about being happy to be without Big Ben.
I would
This is
agree
all
with
just
that.
simple reminders that he's happy to
Well,
be
and then
without the guy.
he got Derek to go to the park and throw to him,
Yeah.
and Ben would never do that. Okay?
And who's filming in the bushes?
Honey.
Like, who's
I don't
filming
know.
this?
Honeymoon.
Honeymoon.
It's hard.
Feels good at the
The
time.
only time I've ever heard of somebody honeymoon turning out bad was old Rob Parker, Skip. And you know,
You can't
But-
say it without him here to
but you know,
defend
but
him.
Skip,
He
come
didn't
on.
say his honeymoon turned out bad. He just said he started watching Tiger at the Masters.
And then it all.
1997.
And he went down. He said it went downhill from
He
there.
did.
That was on the honeymoon.
Oh, yeah.
Look, it's the honeymoon. AB's on the honeymoon. Le'Veon's on the honeymoon. Yeah. We would have loved to see this thing play out. All of them play their career together, kind of like the triplets, kind of like Michael and Emmett and Troy, because that's what should have happened, Skip. Something went awry. Look, something went wrong when you have this kind of talent and you can't get to a Super Bowl. Something's not right because there are very few teams in the last 10 years that have had this kind of talent. And with that offense, as you mentioned, that offensive line. Now, the defense left something to be desired, especially their back end.
Yep.
But you're supposed to be able to overcome that. It just goes to show you how chaotic it was worse. Listen to Jesse James talk. It was worse than we previously thought. Not worse.
Okay, I will buy that. But you condemn the quarterback. Does the head
No,
coach?
no, no,
How about
no,
the head
no,
coach? Does he
No,
deserve
I don't.
any
No,
blame,
no.
any scrutiny?
Look. I start with the players because I'm big on self-accountability. But Mike Tomlin, you're the head coach. You let it get out of hand because, like he said, when Antonio Brown did what he did, what did he say? We're not going to punish ourselves. Okay. He's like, well, I'm going to continue to do it. But, hey, Ben Roethlisberger is not without fault here now.
Yep.
Because he's supposed to be the leader. He's far from that.
I think Pittsburgh's been challenged by this. I think they're going to have a big year.
Well, they need to. Because they come on, Skip, with that kind of talent. They got to put it like this here. If you down on LeBron James missing the playoffs, you should be way down on them missing the playoffs.
Something
missed.
to look forward to tonight. Are we about to see another show from Zion against North Carolina? We will discuss that next.
No mercy.
Time for our final topic of the day. Zion Williamson was a perfect 13 for 13 with 29 points in his return last night. Duke took care of Syracuse in the ACC tournament and will now face their biggest rivals, North Carolina, tonight in the semis. So, Shannon, what do you expect from Zion?
I expect Zion to do Zion Williams type things. He'll make 3 or 4 plays that you're like, wow, I haven't seen that before. And guess what? At the end of the day, they'll take that L. Yep, they're going back to Durham like they're supposed to.
3 L's in 1 year to
3.
your team?
3.
What?
Okay.
Carolina.
Carolina, no. This is going to be Zion unleashed. This is going to be the revenge of Zion. Zion with a vengeance. Again, he got hurt. His shoe blew out on the first play of the game against Carolina at Cameron Indoor. He will wreak revenge tonight.
Their
you
butt's
know
about
he
to
will.
get blown out.
Really?
Yeah, blow the doors off.
What did you just tell me earlier? they suddenly morphed right back into the best team in the country with Zion back, right?
You know what, Skip?
Right. Well, that's what you said.
Zion. You so hyped on Zion.
I'm not
Put some
hyped,
dew
you
on
just-
it. Put some dew on it.
Okay, you really want
Yeah,
to
I
do
want
this?
it. I want all of it.
Not
Okay.
all of it, just one case.
One case.
Okay, one case, not one bottle. Last time it was one bottle.
I couldn't even win a 2-liter bottle.
Okay.
One case.
All right, one case. I got
One
Zion for
case.
one case, and I like my chances.
You don't even like Duke.
I don't like Duke, but you made the bet. It's
like
a
Zion.
silly bet.
I just want you to know, Michael Jordan, you see that? He chose Duke. He chose
Oh,
your
are you trying to get
nemesis.
MJ to hear
He
that?
chose your
I
nemesis.
just want more Duke.
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Keep an eye out for the weekend edition of the podcast tomorrow morning featuring this week's best segments. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.